Welcome into the Marshalltown Bobcat Softball Complex. David Braga and Elijah Bond in the press box for Game 1 tonight between the Marshalltown Bobcats and the Fort Dodge Dodgers. We are joining midway through the top of the first here. We had some technical difficulties we were working through. Dodgers already on the board, 2-0.
Lewis and Dozler have scored. Runner on first and 2 outs.
Ball low in the dirt there. Nice stop. It's been a bit of a struggle here for the Cats early on. Fort Dodge making good contact with the ball, seeing pitches really well tonight. Not looking good for the Cats early, but still a lot of ball game left as that one's fouled back first base side and into the backstop. 1-1.
This Dodgers team is the fourth-ranked team in the state for a reason. So getting down 2-0 early is not a recipe for success for Marshalltown.
Currently up to bat, Ashlyn Willis. Swings right up the middle, straight up to the center field. That'll advance the runner to third. There's the throw. It's high into the dugout.
So Willis advances to second.
A little bit of indecision there from the base runners, but they settle on second and third. 2 runners in scoring position here for the Dodgers, 2 outs. This will be Nichols up to bat. Cats looking to get out of the inning here with the score at 2-0. Ball gets away from the catcher. That'll score a third run. And the struggles continue for the Cats early on. Danielson will run the runner back to third.
So now runner on third and 2 down. A 3-0 hole.
1-0 count here for Danielson. Trying to work out of the first. That one fouled back third base side. The count is now 1-1. Grace Nichols, the batter. One of the many freshmen for this Dodgers team. Going to be good for a while here in 5A. Two 2-1 catches the bottom of the zone there. It's now 2-2. Bobcats 1 strike away from getting out of the first. Right up the middle to Danielson. It's offered glove. And the throw gets away from the first baseman. Nichols safe. That'll extend the Dodger lead.
It's already the 5th base hit of this first inning for the Dodgers. Zimmerman last year, 323 average and 20 RBIs. So, he just hit her at the plate.
Pitch misses low and away there. 1-0 the count now for Danielson. Foul tipped. Runner will head back to first as it goes off the plate. 1-1 now the count. Between the first and second base, the runner turns the corner at second but heads back, and the throw will hold the runner there. An aggressive turn there at second base. Good throw from the right fielder to hold the runner there, but still, the Dodgers seeing the ball well, getting a lot of contact to the grass, advancing runners very efficiently here to start the game.
Yeah, 6 base hits, 4 runs batted in. And Meyer here will be the 9th batter to face Danielson.
Fouled back first base side and out of play. Thankfully parked the station vehicle far enough away. That one's not much of a threat there. Still a lot of hard contact here for the Dodgers. That one up the middle off the glove of Danielson. It's going to be a close play at first, and it's beat out. Oh, and there'll be some confusion among the base runners. Out at second base. That'll get the Bobcats out of the inning as a hard turn at first. Or at second, excuse me. Gets the Cats out of the top half of the first inning. The score is 4-0 Dodgers. And we'll see the top of the lineup for the Bobcats here in the bottom of the first.
It's a very tough hole for the Bobcats here in game 1. 4-0. And we will see what they have in terms of comeback possibility. Starting here with their order.
Bobcats sitting at 2-3 so far this season, 2-2 in the Iowa Alliance North, the Iowa Alliance Conference. Meanwhile, Fort Dodge sitting at 2-0. They're 3-1 overall on the season. And they're looking to make it 4-1 here early on as a lightning quick 4 runs in the top of the first. Gives them a big edge here as the Bobcats come to the plate.
Lucy Porter is the Fort Dodge pitcher to start. Last year in 177 innings pitched, she had a 2.37 ERA and a 19-2 record. So far this year, in 3 games pitched, 16 innings, a 2.62 ERA, and an opponent batting average of .167, a 2-0 record. Only 10 hits allowed.
The Bobcats are going to look to get back into this one early. Got a couple of nice batters here towards the top of the order. Kate Sandvik batting .403 so far this season. 19 runs, 18 RBIs, and 6 doubles. As well as Lainey Danielson batting .316. As we get a look there at Jason Bowers, head coach of the Marshalltown softball team. Sitting down the third base line here. He'll be calling the action as the Bobcats come up to bat. Leading off, number 1, Gianna Bond, batting .336 so far this year. So Bobcats definitely have the hitting potential to get back into this one. It's a matter of how well they're seeing the pitches. First pitch here is a swing and a foul ball right back at us. Into the backstop. 0-1 the count to Bond.
Last year, Bond had 40 runs and 21 RBIs, so 61 runs accounted for.
One of the few upperclassmen for this Bobcat team. That one misses low. 1-1 the count now. Bobcats trailing 4-0 as they lead off the bottom of the first. Pitch is outside there for ball 2.
To your point about a young team, a 7th grader, Faith Summerwatt, is listed on the roster. You don't normally see that.
No. Pitch misses high. That's 3-1 now the count. Ball 4 misses low and outside. The leadoff batter is on for the Bobcats.
Good start if you're a Bobcat fan and wanted to see a rally. For a second. Sandvik last year at a .403 average.
Sandvik up second here for the Cats, looking to dig out of this 4-0 hole early. Takes a strike looking. Fort Dodge, the number 4 team in 5A here. More than deserving of that ranking. They've had a flying start to this season as Sandvik takes a ball high.
Yeah, I believe their only loss was to 10th ranked DCG Mustangs. So
Sandvik lays down a bunt down the third base line. Throwing error as the ball gets away from the first baseman. Sandvik to second base. Bond all the way to third, and the Cats have 2 runners in scoring position. An excellent bunt from Sandvik. Just sat right on that third base line. Would have been a heck of a play from the third baseman there, but the throw just gets away from the first baseman. And that Cats rally is alive and well here in the bottom of the first. 2 runners in scoring position, nobody out, as we've got a meeting at the mound here for Fort Dodge.
up will be Briley Danielson. Last year, 2.99 batting average, 15 runs and 33 RBIs to go along with 2 home runs. She's starting pitcher on the mound, so she's looking to get a little revenge at the plate.
Like you say, Danielson looking to help herself out here with 2 runners in scoring position. That ball is launched foul down the third base line. Certainly looking to help herself out with that swing.
It would have cleared the fences and then some. It's a heck of a swing.
Be careful if you are driving on Olive Street. Another big cut, swing and a miss from Danielson. Come on, 0-2 count here for Danielson. Cats down 4-0, 2 runners on. Foul tipped. Straight back over the catcher to the backstop. Danielson stays alive. Good crowd out here tonight for the home opener for the Marshalltown Bobcat softball team. There's the 0-2, and Danielson goes down with a mighty cut. And now up Laney Danielson.
Laney last season, 316 batting average, 34 runs and 21 RBIs. 2 home runs. So she definitely has the power to launch her out with this 1-run game.
First pitch to Laney. High. That'll be ball 1. It's 1-0. Two on, 1 out. Catches the inside corner to even up the count 1-1.
It's a heck of a pitch by Porter. I thought it was going to be inside by a good margin, and it just curled back into the zone and over the plate.
Lays down the bunt, but it slides foul down the third base line, and now 2 strikes on Laney Danielson.
Something to watch with Porter on the mound. Only 6 earned runs given up in over 3 games this season.
1-2 pitch. High. That is also ripped foul.
Almost hit the porch. It's in the backyard.
Couple of big rips here from the Danielsons, both of which just hooked foul as the Bobcats look to start a rally here in the first. The 1-2 pitch. Got her swinging. Second strikeout here for Fort Dodge in the first inning. And now it'll have to be a 2-out rally here as we take a look at the foul ball. Sent all the way to the apartment complex behind the third baseline. Plenty of power from the Bobcats. Just got to straighten it out. 0-0 pitch, high and in. As Aubrey Munt is up to bat for the Bobcats.
Month this season in 3 games played has a single and 2 doubles. So looking to get added one of the
Another nice pitch. This one on the outside corner from Lucy Porter. She's done a really nice job here since Kate Sandvik's single in advance on the throw. That one, third base side, also foul. This one, not quite as deep.
Yeah, to your point, Porter looks composed right now on the mound after giving up those 2 base runners. She's really settled in.
1-1 pitch here for Munt. Bobcats looking to get on the board. Runners on second and third. That pitch just misses outside. Another really nice pitch. Two-two pitch. Three straight strikeouts for Lucy Porter after the Cats got runners on second and third with nobody out. And the Bobcat rally comes up short. Lucy Porter, an excellent job navigating with runners in scoring position there, not phased at all. As we head to the top of the second, Fort Dodge looking to extend their lead. They're up 4-0. We will be right back for the top of the second right here on KFJB-TV.
And Sandvik drills one to right field. Backing up is the right fielder over her head. Griesel's going to come home, and that will get the Bobcats on the board again.
Your home for the Bobcats. KFJB-TV. Streaming all year on YouTube.
Welcome back to the Marshalltown Bobcats softball complex. The Fort Dodge Dodgers ranked number 4 in the state in 5A. Up 4-0 on the Cats following a flurry of hits in the first inning. They'll look to extend it here. Briley Danielson looking to limit the damage as we kick off the second inning. High and away for the first pitch here to Hope Alstott.
Last season, All-Star 430 average, 52 runs and 26 RBIs. So, a dangerous hitter at the plate.
That one gets to left field. And making the play. Bobcats get the first out. That's how they started the first inning, though. Got the first batter out. And then the Dodgers went on a run. Bobcats looking to limit that here in the second.
Smith making the catch there, and now Willis comes back up to the plate.
High and in, the first pitch to Wills. (1-0) the count here.
Wills, one of 2 8th graders on this Dodgers team.
Nice snag there by Danielson. She'll make the play to first. Much better start here to the second inning for Danielson. No mishap there from the glove as the pitcher makes the play, helping herself out there, getting the second out.
Ellie Doster, sophomore, coming up to the plate now. Last season, 33 singles. So definitely capable of moving.
First pitch just misses the zone there. As Briley Danielson looks to get out of the top of the second here clean. 1-0 the count. Missed about the same spot on back-to-back pitches, just high and away. 2-0 now.
What's that?
replay right here.
Which one's wrong?
That play. Fouled back, first base side and out of play.
Simple. Can hardly wait to watch tonight.
First strike there to Wills, fouled back. More hard contact, though, from the Dodgers.
Yeah, I agree.
Another one shot down the first base side. This one also back and out of play.
I don't know if there's been a ball hit by the Dodgers so far inning at 2/3. It's all been very, very warm contact.
Danielson one strike away here on the 2-2 pitch. Missed way high and away. The count is now full for Wills and Danielson, the pitcher. Looking to get out of the top of the second. That'll loop and it'll drop in shallow right center. Held to just a single, though. There's a throwback to first to keep Wills there. And the Dodgers have a runner on with 2 outs in the top of the second. A courtesy runner will come in. That's number 14, Ava Wessels.
Wessels last season, 20 runs in 30 games played, 13 for 13 stolen bases.
Cats were pretty close on one in the first inning. Getting a runner at second. We'll see what the call is here. Swing and a miss.
I don't think so. Maybe that's why I thought she looked so cute, because I'm not.
It's Caden Tooney.
Senior missed all of last season with an injury, so this season she's already on a tear.
That is straight up into right field. Outfield comes in, gets the final out, and the Bobcats, after giving up 4 runs in the opening inning, navigate through the second time of the Dodgers lineup. A little bit better to start. Just the 1 hit allowed in the top of the second. Still more hard contact, though, from the Dodgers. Certainly looking to extend that lead. Bobcats would do themselves a lot here in the bottom of the second to start similar to how they did in the first, getting those 2 runners on. Just got to capitalize off of that.
Yeah, and it really seemed like Porter settled in there after getting those 2 runners in scoring position. So it's important to capitalize on those opportunities with, in my opinion, 1 out or less. Because if she gets 2 outs, I think that's all wraps for the Bobcats. So it'll be Coleman, Wise, and Jansen. The 3 due up.
And it's not necessarily swinging for the fences. It's just getting contact, getting on base, start that rally, get those first couple people on. As we take a look here at the press box. The fancy new press box here at the softball complex.
For a pitcher like Porter, you just have to get contact. I said this before the Bobcats came out the first time. Opposing batters are only batting 167 against Porter. She had 23 strikeouts coming into tonight, and she already has 26 after those 2 runners got on. Both Danielson sisters and Munt struck out. So it is all about just getting contact and getting runners on and extending the inning for as long as you can.
At the very least, try to run up that pitch count. As here we've got Coleman, Kaylin Coleman, up to bat, leading off the Bobcats half of the second inning. Cats trailing 4-0 to number 4 Fort Dodge. Here in game 1 of the doubleheader. That pitch fouled back here, just on top of the press box here. Thankfully, we do have a roof. Nothing getting through that so far. 0-1 count here to Coleman.
Coleman so far this season is 2-5.
Man, Porter is just dialed in on that outside corner. 0-2 the count now.
And she is placing her pitches very well.
And the high cheese gets Coleman there. Her 4th strikeout, Porter.
4th straight.
Fourth straight, all 4 outs so far for the Bobcats have been strikeouts. You mentioned she did have 23 on the season. Certainly no stranger to racking them up here. Dodgers have only played 4 games, so.
Yeah, and she's pitched in 3 of them.
That one lifted. Shortstop makes the call and will make the play. Olivia Wise pops out in the infield.
Jensen now up. Last season as a freshman, a .269 average and 3 RBIs. Looking for a two-out rally for the Bobcats.
You want a scaffold shot now? Is that what you're saying?
Jansen takes pitch 1, and it's in for a strike. Bobcats down 4-0 early. As that one misses low and inside.
Porter's had a couple of those here in the end 2/3. She's had a couple of pitches that have just bounced before the plate.
That one just misses high and away. Porter has really attacked that outside corner so far. Just missed with that one high. Good eye there from Jansen as she takes another one high. Now the count 3-1. Bobcats looking to get their first base runner of the 2nd inning.
Jansen gets on. It'll press.
3-1 pitch. In there for a strike. The count is full.
Your driver isn't all that excited to get the food to you.
And another strikeout. Swing and a miss from Jansen will end the 2nd inning. Bobcats do not get a base runner as we will head to the 3rd with the Bobcats up 4-0. We'll be right back after this on your home for the Cats, KFJB-TV.
And Sandvik drills one to right field. Backing up is the right fielder over her head. Griesel's going to come home, and that will get the Bobcats on the board again.
Your home for the Bobcats, KFJB-TV. Streaming all year on YouTube.
Welcome back to the Marshalltown Bobcats softball complex, where number 4 Fort Dodge leads your Marshalltown Bobcats 4-0 as we head to the 3rd. Riley Danielson, much better job in the 2nd inning, taking care of Fort Dodge at the plate. No runs in the 2nd inning. But unfortunately for the Cats, nothing doing themselves at the plate as they go 3 up, 3 down. Heading to the 3rd. David Braga here in the booth, joined by Elijah Bond. But don't worry, Brandon Lewis and Dylan Doze will be here for Game 2. Currently got Brandon producing for me. A little bit of a switcheroo here for Game 1 as Danielson catches that outside corner.
Michaela been her first time up, singled and scored the first inning.
That one ripped into right field. A nice adjustment. Another hard hit ball, but another nice play from the Bobcat outfield. As Ashlyn Wills comes up to bat.
Wills in her first time up also singled and scored, so that was a marathon of a first inning for the Bobcats, but Danielson, like Porter, was really settled in.
Really settled in on that outside corner there. This one just misses. 1-0 the count here. That one to the second baseman. Soft enough for the Bobcats to make the play. 2 up, 2 down for Briley Danielson here in the top of the third. Grace Nichols up to bat. Nice pitch from Danielson. In there for a strike. Makes the count 0-1 here in the top of the third.
Olivia White with a nice snag at second base to get that last out on Wills.
Another hard hit ball. Sandvik back, and she'll make the play in shallow left. And the Bobcats, 3 straight outs there in the top of the third for the Dodgers batters. And the Bobcat defense helping themselves out just a little bit here. As we'll head to the bottom of the third.
Where is he?
Fort Dodge still leading it 4-0.
Oh, there he is.
It's been a slow start for the Bobcat hitters. They got 2 on and advanced to second and third in the bottom of the first inning, but nothing doing. Today's broadcast, production of today's game is made possible by the Home Rental Center in Marshalltown. Need it, rentit.net.
There you go. Both ways.
So the Bobcats need a couple runs here. I wonder if Home Rental Center would lend us a couple.
Maybe. I mean, as long as we return it, right?
As there we see the scaffolding.
Okay, you can reset.
It'll be Price and back up to the top of the order with Bond and Sandberg. So, see if Price can spark something new.
Elijah, you'll be out there in center field for game 2. We've got a ladder now for you.
Yeah, let me tell you, it was a bit of a struggle climbing up that scaffolding without a ladder.
We got it situated. We got it figured out for those that were concerned for our cameraman's safety. As the Bobcats looking to put some runners on here in the bottom of the third. First pitch swinging. That's a light looper to third. Carson Price will be out on the catch. That'll bring up the top of the order here. Jonna Bond.
Price last year, more of a pitcher, 6 and 13 and 119 in the third of his pitch. So.
Just missed outside there. There's a little looper from Porter. This time got to the plate, but just missed outside. Foul tip there to even the count.
Bought her first time up, walked and got to third, but couldn't score.
She's got a very aggressive stance to take off to first base. Something you'll see fairly frequently with lefties. They'll try to lay down those bunts, those draw bunts down the first base line, but looks like she's swinging the whole way. 2-1 the count now. Popped up and back out of play. Count is now 2-2. And here we've got another situation. Porter looking for another strikeout. And she'll get it on the outside corner. A swing and a miss for out number 1. Or out number 2, excuse me. And that'll bring up Kate Sandvik.
It's already Porter's 6th strikeout in 2 2/3. So.
Sandvik made the play to end the top half of the third as the shortstop tailing back into shallow left. She'll take a pitch low for ball 1.
I'm guessing all the good batters are still being charged right now. I promise to get
Sandvik rips the 1-0 pitch, and it's dropped in left field. Sandvik aboard on the drop. That's Cadence Tooney out in left, and Bobcats with a chance to take advantage of that with Briley Danielson up. She got a hold of one in the first inning, but it was ripped foul. She'll take ball one there inside and low.
Now you're thinking.
Danielson, her first time up, struck out. So it really hasn't been a oddity for the Bobcat hitters this evening.
1-0 pitch swinging. Danielson underneath that one. 1-1 the count here. 2 outs for Danielson at the plate. Bobcats trailing 4-0 here in the bottom of the third. She gets a hold of that one underneath it again and fouled straight back and over this nice new press box.
No foul ball damage yet. So.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
1-2 the count now to Danielson. High. 2-2 now the count. Sandvik down at first. Danielson at the plate looking to help herself out. And Porter catches that outside corner for strike 3. She has been dialed in on that pitch specifically. That's her 7th strikeout of the game. And that'll take us to the 4th inning. The Dodgers lead at 4-0 in the Bobcats softball home opener. We'll be back for the 5th right here on KFJB-TV.
And Sandvik drills one to right field. Backing up is the right fielder over her head. Griesel's going to come home, and that will get the Bobcats on the board again.
Your home for the Bobcats. KFJB-TV. Streaming all year on YouTube.
We are back with the Fort Dodge Dodgers, the number 4 team in 5A, leading the Marshalltown Bobcats 4-0 here in the 4th inning. Leading off the top of the 4th here for the Dodgers, number 5, Kaylee Zimmerman.
Yeah, well, I had a board meeting. I couldn't see softball on Monday, so I was like, technically, if we're going to go,
Fly ball to center, deep and back at the wall. Goodbye, baseball. Zimmerman extends the lead to 5. Straightaway center for Zimmerman. And the party at home plate as the Dodgers make it 5-0 as we take a look here at that replay. Just right over the heart of the plate and just clearing that straightaway center wall. Dodgers have been hitting the ball hard all evening. And they pick up one that clears the fences. Now laying down a first baseline bunt. That's Meyer, but it does just squeak into foul territory.
That was a heck of a showcase power there by Zimmerman. Don't believe she hit a home run last year. So it's her first in a couple years. There is some action in the Fort Dodge bullpen. There's number 10, Katie Mason.
Swing and a miss on the pitch outside there from Danielson. Now an 0-2 count here for Meyer as the Dodgers lead at 5-0 off of the home run from Zimmerman. Danielson had done pretty good at getting some fly ball outs there in the third inning, but unfortunately the risk with fly ball outs is you might give up a long ball to straightaway center.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a great game plan here for Danielson, especially with the power that the Dodgers team has.
Another one fouled back the first baseline.
Like we've said previously, it's been a lot of hard contact for the Dodgers so far today. So pitching to contact, it's down to.
That one right back to Danielson, who makes the play. A couple nice plays in the field from Danielson the last couple innings. As we take a look here at that last play from Danielson, just right back to her. Cool, calm, and collected on the mound for out number 1. That one ripped to the third base line. It's through the infield into left field. Sandvik couldn't quite reach it on the edge of the grass there. And the Dodgers have a runner on with 1 out here in the top of the 4th.
Allstott's now 1 for 3 with that single. 9 base hits for the Dodgers so far.
Wills up here. She shows bunt, throw down to second, not in time. Pitch was in there for a strike, though, for Danielson. Throw to second, just not in time. As the Dodgers now have a runner in scoring position. She'll take off again, and the hit gets through into shallow center. Throw coming home. Now back to second. Close play. Got her at second. Great play there from Danielson. Going back to second. The Dodgers do add a run, but the Bobcats pick up the second out of the inning.
That is your very common 8-1-4 put up.
Just another average Wednesday.
6-0 Dodgers. Allstott on that steal. I believe that's her 9th on the season. She's perfect 9 for 9.
Yeah, then you're really hungry.
Doster up to bat here now for the Dodgers. Bases empty. And again, that outside corner. Both pitchers really dialed in on that. Umpire giving it to him. 0-1 now the count. Nobody on, 2 outs, top of the 4th. Dodgers. Another one squeaks through into center field. Runner aboard now, 2 outs. Cadence Tooney up to bat.
Okay, let's go, girls. Just need an out now. Just need an out.
Looking to bunt, pulls back, throw to second. Not in time, I don't believe, and a little short on the throw. Another steal for the Dodgers this inning. Last one resulted in a run. Bobcats looking to limit that here in the top of the 4th. Hard hit ball to third. Snagged, and the throw is made. Bobcats get out of it, but the Dodgers extend the lead on the home run for Zimmerman. And they get another around to make it 6-0 here as the Bobcats' hole has gotten a little deeper here in their home opener.
Good news for the Bobcats. 4, 5, 6 coming to bat. But Lucy Porter just has been dynamite through 3 innings on the mound. No hits so far. A couple of errors, but no hits for the Bobcats yet.
Bobcats got 2 on and to second and third with nobody out. in the bottom of the first, down 4-0, but could not send anyone home as Porter struck out 3 in a row, 3 of her 7.
Yes, 3 of her 7.
7 strikeouts here so far through 3 innings.
3 straight in the first, 2 sandwiched together in the second, and then once again 2 sandwiched in the third. So 7 through 3 innings. Only a couple of base runners. Only 3 base runners for the Bobcats so far. So it's going to be important for the Bobcats to try to claw back in this game with 4 innings to go. That's a really good, really dialed-in pitcher in this report.
And with how Porter has been hitting that outside corner, you have to think Bobcats might be paying a little more attention to that type of pitch.
Well, a pitcher like Porter, I think she'll recognize that and then start fishing inside. So, as talented as Porter is, I'm just not sure that there's a certain pitch that the Bobcats can look for.
Lainey Danielson to lead off the Bobcat part of the 4th. Popped up and straight back to us here again in the press box. It'll clear us.
Over under how many foul ball hits this press box gets tonight?
Currently at 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Misses inside to Danielson. 1-1 now the count.
That's a softball one, yeah. They're supposed to be installed this week, you know.
Danielson, a shallow pop-up. Porter calls off the third baseman to make the play on the third base line, and that'll be the first out here for the Bobcats in the bottom of the 4th. Aubrey Munt up now for the Bobcats. The senior.
No, just bring it. We usually put them in our bag. So yeah. Good.
Last season, 30 runs accounted for, 15 runs, 15 RBIs.
First offering from Porter misses high. It'll be 1-0 the count.
One is correct.
Pitch misses low, 2-0.
I think for the Bobcats, you just need to get a couple base runners on and go from there. Because right now, there's nothing doing offensively.
Cats have had a good eye on those low pitches from Porter, which has been nice to see. 2-0 the count. That one right down the middle. Two and 1. Munt gets a hold of it into center. But it does not fall. That's 2 outs now for the Bobcats here in the bottom of the 4th. And Porter continues to pick them up and put them down. Bobcats just cannot figure it out at the plate so far tonight, as Kaylin Coleman will come up to bat. She's having a little chat with Coach here on the third base side. With that, we'll also have a meeting at the mound here.
11 of the last 12 Bobcat batters have been retired. So,
and the one that reached Sandvik was on the error in left field. So no hits in the last 13 and no walks in the last 13. So Bobcats really struggling. Porter has really dialed it in here after giving up a couple hits there in the first inning.
Coleman comes to the plate, the sophomore. 3 runs last year as her freshman.
popped back into the backstop. Catcher couldn't quite find it there for Fort Dodge.
With this being a doubleheader, I gotta wonder how far Lucy Porter will go in these games. If she's pitching like she is right now, there's no reason to pull her except for the pitch count.
That's another one ripped down the third base line. Cats are just out in front of some of these pitches. That's the third one that's been sent way down the third base line. Cats could just delay that swing just a hair and straighten some of these out. They'd have a couple extra base runners. As that outside pitch works for Porter once again to clean up the fourth inning. Bobcats can't find a base runner as they still trail at 6-0.
8 strikeouts for Lucy Porter.
Bobcats will look to navigate the deficit in the fifth when we come back right here on your home for the Cats, KFJB-TV.
And Sandvik drills one to right field, backing up as a right fielder over her head. Griesel's going to come home, and that will get the Bobcats on the board again.
Your home for the Bobcats, KFJB-TV, streaming all year on YouTube.
Transportation for today's game on KFJB-TV is provided by Carl Auto Group in Marshalltown. Carl is your dealer for life as you get a look there at the KFJB-TV station vehicle, parked far enough back to be safe from a lot of these foul balls that both these teams are getting a hold of.
A lot of contact, but not a lot of put in play, especially on the Marshalltown side.
I was gonna say, unless you're a Dodger, plenty of hard contact between the lines here for the Dodgers as they look to extend their lead. Already up 6-0 here in the fifth. Mia McCaleb up to lead off the Dodgers here in the fifth. As that first pitch misses low and inside for ball one. Outside corner. Got her looking 1-1 now. Danielson still working out hard there on the mound, or I guess in the circle here for softball as McCaleb gets one to Sandvik. The throw is late. And the Dodgers have a base runner here to lead off the fifth. Tough play there for Sandvik at short. Just took an awkward hop.
Yes.
Stayed in front of, or stayed behind the ball to not advance the runner there, but just an awkward bounce as McCaleb gets aboard. The Dodgers, seemingly the perfect combination of power and speed throughout the lineup as McCaleb looked like she was going to take off there and gets held at first as the first pitch is in there for a strike on Ashlyn Wills, who is squaring up to bunt here. Bobcats look ready for it as the corners come in. Pitch misses high and outside. 1-1.
On Monday, these Dodgers outscored Mason City 24-0 en route to a doubleheader sweep. Similar to this game tonight, they used a big inning. In both games, there was a third inning. 7 runs each of those third innings. So the use of the big inning, it seems like something that the Dodgers have really gotten accustomed to.
Wills offered there on the bunt, so it's 1-2 here, the count. She pulls back to swing, and the play is made on the first base side. Great play made in foul territory there. Bobcats get the first out of this fifth inning.
Nice play by Danielson, though.
Thought maybe the Cats could get a double play there at first as McCaleb takes off. She is well safe at second.
Seems like a lot of the throws by Jensen behind the plate have been short. So it seems like something that the Dodgers are trying to exploit here in the back half innings.
As the pitch gets away there from Jansen, McCaleb advances to third. Danielson making sure she stays at third there. Fired it over to try to get the tag, but McCaleb ready for it. 2-0 the count here.
We'll have a meeting at the mound.
2-0 count. One out here in the Fort Dodge half of the fifth inning. The Dodgers leading at 6-0. Dodgers ranked number 4 in the state in 5A. Like you said, coming off a sweep, a blowout sweep of the Mason City Riverhawks. And they've got quite the matchup coming up, as I believe they play Valley at some point.
Yes, Saturday they play Valley. It'll be a heck of a matchup. Number 3, Pleasant Valley.
Pleasant Valley, excuse me.
Pleasant Valley, that's Western White Valley. Pleasant Valley hosts these number 4 Dodgers. Look, there's like a tournament, because once again on Saturday,
That's cool too.
they play number 7 Norwalk, the Dodgers do. So, heck of a weekend upcoming for the Dodgers.
Nichols will come back into the box here. 2-0 the count, one out. And that gets her on the arm. Danielson goes up and in. Hit by pitch there, sends Nichols to first. And now we've got runners on the corners as we've got a courtesy runner in. It's number 14 again, Ava Wessels.
Danger territory for the Bobcats right now. Corners is 1 out. Already down 6. Can't really allow more than these 2 runners to score if you really want a chance against.
And maybe the last batter you want to see here is Zimmerman, who went straight away center, right over the 220 sign, her last at-bat. She'll look to bunt. Jansen will hold it at home to keep the runner from coming home, and that will be a steal there for Wessels going to second. Smart play there from Jansen to hold it at home as Zimmerman goes long deep again. This one to the track, and it'll stay in play. One hop the fence, close play at second. Dodgers will score another.
Hit Taylor second time showing again. Nichols advances to third on the double.
Zimmerman has already cleared the fence once tonight, and she was about 3 feet from clearing it a second time, and right about the same spot, straightaway center. Doesn't quite clear it this time, but she does extend the lead. It's now 7-0 Dodgers. Here in the top of the fifth. Aggressive stances for both runners on second and third as the bunt gets dropped down. What a beautiful bunt. Wow. What a bunt from Melina Mayer, excuse me. And she advances to second.
Zimmerman advances.
She'll head back to first, actually. Oh, no, just getting a glove.
So did we call that a bunt double for there? Or?
I'd say a single and then advancing. Not 100% sure, but man, what a bunt that was.
Yes, that was an incredible bunt.
Runners on second and third again here for the Dodgers. That one low and in the dirt as the lead is now 8-0. Hope Alstott up for the Dodgers. She'll lay down another bunt on the first base line. Another great bunt from Fort Dodge. Safe at first is the call. And she's going to second and she'll be in, and that'll score another run.
So
High IQ base running there from the Dodgers, as they'll score 2 more on the bunt, and Alstott will advance to second. You know, we talked about on that steal attempt from Wessels earlier that Jansen held the ball and that saved him a run. And now here that throw to second from Danielson will score a run.
Brings up meeting at the mound. 4 runners already scored this inning for the Dodgers, only 1 out. 10-0.
The struggles continue here for the Cats. Like you said, just 1 out. 1 on here on second. 10-0. The Dodgers lead it. Pitch from Danielson. Rocket up the middle. Sandvik can't make a play. Coming home, and that throws high to the backstop. And there will not be a play at third, as the Dodgers continue to put them aboard and rack up runs here in the 5th inning. 11-0 the score now. Here in the Bobcats home opener, not going as planned.
This Dodgers team is very, very talented team.
Doster up to bat here. Still just 1 out in the top of the 5th. Danielson, the first pitch is in there for a strike. A much needed strike there.
Yes.
That one ripped into right field. Awkward ball to the track. One hops the wall. And that'll be a double. Another extra base hit here for the Dodgers. Another one that one hops the fence. And that hard contact continues.
Now a 6th spot in this 5th inning for the Dodgers, and now Caden Tooney, the 9th batter,
What's that?
back. The Dodgers 3-1, 4th ranked. Their only loss was to number 10 Charles Hittergrimes, a 9-7 loss. So
still just 1 out here for the Cats in the 5th inning. In search of something positive on the defensive side here as the Dodgers continue to rally.
couple runner.
That one up the middle. Sandvik on a hop, throws to first. There's
Nice
a
play.
second out. Runner does advance to third as McCaleb comes back up to bat. She got on earlier this inning and added a steal to help start this Dodger rally. Less of a rally, more of a flurry, I suppose, as
Yes.
Danielson again attacks that outside corner. This time just a bit too outside as it's 1-0, the count.
Dodgers have batted around in this 5th inning. So McCaleb, this is their 2nd time.
That one catches the outside corner for Danielson.
Couple arms warming up in the Bobcat bullpen. Faith Summerlot, the 8th grader, and Cameron Price, the freshman. I'm going to assume it's 4 games.
Swing and a miss there from McCaleb. Pitch was outside, but when you've been making contact like the Dodgers have, why not?
Yeah.
1-2 the count. Danielson looking to get out of the 5th. There it is. Strike 3 from Briley Danielson. And the Bobcats get out of the inning, but not before the Dodgers bat through the order and put up 6. It's 12-0 here. The Bobcats looking for something on the offensive side. as we'll head to the bottom of the 5th. As there you see a bit of a team meeting here outside the dugout. And if there was ever a time to get the rally caps, down double digits in the 5th is probably a good time.
It's been a clinic so far for the Dodgers. Just in that 5th inning alone, 5 hits and 6 runs.
And with Lucy Porter pitching how she has been, taking advantage of everything, inside out, top of the zone, bottom of the zone, soft contact from the Bobcats, and when they've been able to make hard contact, it's been fouled on the third base line just in front of some pitches here. As it looks like we do have a pitching change here for Fort Dodge. It looks like it's number 10, Katie Mason.
She was in the bullpen earlier, so it's not surprising to see her come into the game with the Dodgers up 11 here in the 5th.
Porter ended with, I believe, 8 strikeouts.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8 strikeouts. Came into tonight with 23. So a nice addition to her total on the year.
From 23 to 31. It's a big jump in one game.
And like you said, it's very early in the year. She's pitched 3 of the 4 games coming in, 3 of the 4 games coming into tonight, and then tonight as well.
Got to think it's also more of an arm-saving thing for the Dodgers pulling Porter here with them playing 2 games on Saturday. Pleasant Valley and Norwalk, 2 top 10 teams. So.
Bobcats looking for something here in the bottom of the 5th. Katie Mason now on the mound for the Dodgers. Her first pitch here to Olivia Wise, the batter, right up the middle to the shortstop. Nice play made, and that'll be the first out of the 5th inning with the Bobcats up to bat.
Mason last year, 8 innings pitched, 9.62 ERA and an opposing batting average of 340. So
Jansen now batting for the Cats.
Unlike Porter, this is a pitcher that the Bobcats can hit, and she's only pitched 1 inning so far this season.
Clearly taking some notes from Porter there on the outside corner. In there for a strike to Jansen. Bobcats have been limited at the plate. Not only not scoring runs, but not getting too many hits or base runners in general. So we've got equipment there being thrown off to the dugout for Fort Dodge. Chopped foul. Jansen stayed alive there with the foul tip. Bobcats looking for a base runner. Is that one weak? Grounder to the pitcher who makes the play to first. And the ground ball outs for the Bobcats continue here with Mason pitching.
I believe the Bobcats are down in the last out, down by 12.
I believe that is correct.
Need a couple runs, 2-out rally to keep this game alive.
Bottom of the 5th here for the Cats, trailing 12-0 with 2 outs. That pitch slipped out of the hand of Mason there. So we take a look at that. Yeah, just slipped out of the hand there. Excellent shot by our camera crew there. Very own Keith Stewart. Second pitch in there for a strike. 1-1. Now the count as Price swings over top of one. That one fouled back third base side.
And we got a third ball out of the park.
1-2 now the
So,
count
he left.
as the Bobcats look to extend the game here. Trailing 12-0, 1-2 pitch. Another ground ball to first, and that'll do it. 12-0 for the Dodgers. Bobcats stifled at the plate.
5-inning no-hitter for these Dodgers. And a rough start to the night for
Bobcats were able to get a couple base runners there in the first, but like you mentioned, off of errors made by the Dodgers defense. And while they got 2 on in the bottom of the first with nobody out on second and third, could not bring anybody home. And you wonder how much that impacted the rest of the game. The Dodgers, 2 big innings, the top of the first as well as the top of the fifth, really put this game away. As we will get ready for game 2. That'll start at 7 o'clock. We'll have Brandon Lewis and Dylan Doze on the call for that one. Thank you for joining us. I'm David Braga along with Elijah Bond here in the press box. You'll be hearing a little bit more of us the rest of the season, and we'll see you for game 2 right here on your home for the Cats, KFJB-TV.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is made possible by Assured Partners, Greg Young of Marshalltown, Lennox Employees Credit Union, Marshalltown Area Chamber, Marshalltown Community College, McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, Sports Plus, Wayward Social, Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown, Marshalltown School District, Scooters of Marshalltown, Legends American Grill, Sandvik Enterprises in Marshalltown, your Marshalltown Hy-Vee, and State Farm, Tyler Pashong Agency.
Safety! Dropped in the end zone. It's Niehaus. Feldman, that one will get in. That's a good point right there. A shot coming here. That's a goal. Lifted to left center field. Gets off the warning track into the wall. Transition 3. Boom! Knocks that one down. And it's a goal. What a beautiful play. Dutton, look what I found over the first. It's a 3-on-1 all the way. Yes! There he goes.
Your home for the Bobcats, KFJB-TV.
Game number 2 right around the corner is the Marshalltown Bobcats taking down 12-0 in game number 1 tonight. This is Bobcat Softball on KFJB-TV. Sandvik drills one to right field. Backing up is the right fielder over her head in Vallejo. Sandvik's a second. Welcome back to the Marshalltown Softball Complex. Brandon Lewis, Dylan Doze alongside me tonight as we get you ready to go between the Dodgers and the Bobcats. Dodgers off to a big start of the night, 12-0 victory as they take down the Bobcats in game number 1. Coming up, it is our Cat Connection with Kate Sandvik, starting center fielder now in game number 2 for the Marshalltown Bobcats right here on KFJB-TV.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
At Greg Young Automotive, we go the extra mile for our customers across Iowa. Why do customers choose us and keep coming back? Because our commitment to exceptional service and satisfaction never wavers. With our extensive network of dealerships throughout Iowa, we leverage unbeatable pricing and offer a better inventory selection than other dealerships. Visit any of our 6 locations across the state and experience the Greg Young difference, where we'll go the extra mile for you.
The Cat Connection, sponsored by State Farm, mtownproud.com.
I love your dad, by the way. He's a great guy. Yeah, that's good. That's good. You love your dad. All right. It is Kate Sandvik with our Cat Connection here on KFJB-TV, all brought to you by Tyler Pashong Agency, mtownproud.com. Softball is in your bloodlines. I don't know, was there any way your dad was letting you not at least be experienced to softball and maybe persuade you that way?
No, I kind of grew up with softball, and there's really no thought in my mind without softball. Softball's been such a big part of me growing up, and I love the sport. Like, I have no thought in my mind, like, not going to play and, like, softball. It's just softball, softball.
All right, so I see your mom and dad at pretty much all the games, and I know they're heavily invested in your softball career as you pursue that. What's their support been like for you along the way? Because it's one of those things where you're not going to be able to do it yourself.
Yeah. Just having them by my side has always been I'm always really grateful for them. The amount of time, the money, everything they've invested in me has really helped me become the player I am today. Just knowing that you always have someone that supports you. Like, for all 16 years of my life, I've always known, like, my parents love me. They are going to be there by my side no matter what happens, and that's really nice knowing, especially when you're in a sport where there's a lot of failure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a good reminder. That is for sure. As you kind of have played AAU and you've played here for the high school, as you kind of balance that and try to find a good cohesion of getting that experience on both sides of the table, what's it like to be still involved with your locals? A lot of players do play AAU exclusively, especially when it comes to softball. So how important is it for you to still play for Marshalltown?
It's really about supporting the community. It's where I'm from. Like, I don't want the team to be like, I want to help better the team. Like, I don't want to just, like, not go out and, like, leave my teammates and my friends and my coaches and everyone that's on that ball field supporting me. So it's really just more about supporting the community.
Yeah. All right. So just a sophomore this year.
Yep.
You're going to be an upperclassman here, just in a matter of months. What's your experience been like in the softball program to kind of help better your game, but also kind of maybe show you that leadership angle of people looking up to you?
It's been really nice. I think the leadership that I get to have on the softball field, especially at shortstop, that's like kind of the controller of the field, is going to help me in every aspect of life. Like, in the classroom, like, I can help with, like, group projects, and, like, in the future when I get a job or go to college, like, I'm like, it's nice to be able to know, like, yeah, I can be a leader. I can help do this. I can just be that person that, like, steps up and gets stuff done, Yeah,
for sure. That's some good qualities to have there. You should listen to Kate Sandvik. That is for sure. All right. I know you're just, a couple more years of high school left, so you got plenty of time. But I know you have interest in maybe playing at the next level. Is there any interest reciprocating back your way?
It's kind of like camp invites and, like, going to tournaments and seeing some coaches watching the games and stuff, but you can't really get, like, recruited or anything, or they can't really talk to you until, like, September 1st of junior year. So coming up
it's coming up.
Yeah. So it's kind of just from there. We'll see.
If Kate Sandvik had her choice, where would she play softball at?
That's a really tough question. There's a lot of schools that I really like, so it'd be really hard for me to, like, choose. I don't know. I've gone to a lot of camps, and I've never gone to a camp that I didn't like. Like, all the schools have always been really, like, accommodating, and I really like their staffs and their players. So I don't know. Yeah.
Well, hey, you've got plenty of time to figure that out, all right? Best of luck rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right, that is Kate Sandvik with our Cat Connection. All brought to you by Tyler Pashong Agency, mtownproud.com.
At Tyler Pashong State Farm, we are M-Town Proud.
For us, M-Town Proud is about having absolute pride in the place that we live and work. The people in this community represent everything that I believe in and everything I want to instill in my children.
Hardworking,
Diverse,
genuine,
kind, and passionate.
A blue-collar town that has shown countless times we can depend on each other.
We'd love to talk to you about what makes you
M-Town Proud.
Make the equity in your home work for you with the home equity loan from Lennox Employees Credit Union. Crush high-interest credit card debt and make needed improvements to your home. You have the power to refinance and change your financial life. With the lower interest rate, repayment is more comfortable than paying those high credit card interest rates. The loan process is easy. See Lennox Employees Credit Union, 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender. Online at lennoxecu.com. Well, a quick start for game number 2 tonight for the Marshalltown Bobcats and the Fort Dodge Dodgers. Brandon Lewis, Dylan Dose alongside me. Dodgers are 4-1 on the season, ranked 4th in Class 4A. The Bobcats playing in 5A. They stand at a mark of 2-4 after a Game 1 loss of 12-0 for the Marshalltown Bobcats. Hannah Osgood is getting the start inside the circle in game number 2. We have one away in the top of the first inning and one aboard. Macy Wills got herself aboard with a hot shot between short and third base. As we take a look at the replay there on KFJB-TV, Hope Ostott led off the game with a 4-3 ground out. So there's one away and a 2-1 count on the batter, and Ellie Doster, the catcher in game number 2 here tonight for the Dodgers in their all-black uniforms. Bunch shown. They brought it back. A run down to second base. A stolen bag, and she is thrown out. Macy Wills caught stealing. How about that? Gianna Bonney with a throw out at second base as Briley Danielson ranged over from shortstop to make the out. Number 2 is Macy Wills caught stealing, Dylan.
Gianna Bonney, often that left-handed cannon comes from the other side of the field, but she goes behind the plate and had her by a good step. Nice start for the Cats.
Doster still at the plate, and she will work a walk with the fourth ball in the at-bat on a 3-1 count. So a walk by Osgood puts her aboard at first with 2 down. All right, so the lineup looks like this tonight for the Dodgers, who are visiting. Allstott, Wills, Doster to bat in this inning. And Cadence Tooney will head to the plate, followed by Mia McCaleb at third base. Ashlyn Wells at the Keystone. Grace Nichols is the DP tonight for Melina Meyer, who's in right field. Callie Zimmerman in the 8-hole at first base, and Aubrey Allstott is on the mound here tonight, batting ninth. And we'll talk more about her next inning as she'll face the Cats. So 4-hole hitter and Cadence Tooney will head to the plate as she is in left field tonight. Ellie Doster is the catcher, and she has a courtesy runner in Ava Wessels, the junior. A couple of runs scored this year as a courtesy runner. She runs into Olivia Wise at second base, and that'll be out number 3, as that is interference right there on the run, as Doster will be out on the interference as Cadence Tooney put a weak ball into play right there, and that will end the top of the first inning as the Dodgers end up stranding a runner right there, getting her out in Ellie Doster's courtesy runner in Ava Wessels. We head to the bottom of the first. This is Bobcat Softball. You're watching KFJB-TV.
Wayward Social is the place for fun. With 20 lanes of bowling, leagues for all levels, great food and drink options, an awesome arcade, there is a ton of fun to be had at Wayward Social. And that's just on the inside. Step outside and enjoy patio life at Gutter Point with drinks, shuffleboard, live music, and fun atmosphere. Follow Wayward Social on Facebook for updates on specials and live music. It is all on South 6th Street in Marshalltown. Visit wayward-social.com to plan your next visit to the place for fun.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
Well, Welcome back to Marshalltown Bobcats Softball Complex. Brandon Lewis, Dylan Does alongside me tonight. Starting lineups all brought to you by Sandvik Enterprises in Marshalltown. Let them deliver for you while we deliver the starting lineup. Gianna Bonney will lead things off. She's catching in game number 2, played center field in game number 1. Kate Sandvik replaces her in center field, batting in the 2-hole. Briley Danielson will go off the center circle and play shortstop in game 2. Lady Danielson at first, Aubrey Munt in right field. Kaylin Coleman in the 6-hole, batting there as she'll play the hot corner. Olivia Wise is at the Keystone, batting 7th. Carson Price, the DP, and Hannah Osgood will pitch for the Marshalltown Bobcats. Our keys to the game tonight all brought to you by First Rate Real Estate, FirstRateTeam.com. Dylan?
For the Bobcats, it's hit and run. The last 2 games, Bobcats have been no hit. Their defense is much better this year. They're not walking as many players, but they have got to get on base, and that all starts with Bounty, Sandvik, and then the Danielsons. On the flip side, you look at Fort Dodge, and with Fort Dodge, you're looking at Keep the Crown. This is by far and away the absolute best softball team in the Iowa Lions Conference and one of the top programs in the entire state. You look at that, Coach Adams has over 800 wins, picked up her 800th win last May. People 20 years her senior would love her win totals. This is just a really good program, and they're number 4 coming into tonight, and they're not looking to slow down anytime soon.
Bonnie fouls off the first pitch she sees from Allstott. The second one is upstairs. It is 1-1. Aubrey Allstott, the starting pitcher tonight, 1-1 on the season, just 6 innings pitched, a 2.33 ERA with 4 strikeouts on the season coming in. Here's the 1-1 upstairs, and that one will miss a little bit away as well. It's a 2-1 count to Bonnie, who last year batted .336, mainly in that leadoff role. Again, at that leadoff role, batting .500, 7 runs, 2 RBI. Coming into last night's action. Here's the 2-1 over her head. It did make contact, and Bonnie will be hit by the pitch, and she'll head down to first base. And this will bring up Kate Sandvik, who a year ago, really in that 2-hole spot a lot for much of the year, batted .403 with 19 runs, 18 RBI, 6 doubles last year, and that's the threat for her, is she's got the speed to get after it as well. No extra base hits so far this year, but this should be a good spot with it, with Bonnie over there at first.
She has a little bit of gap power, too, with center field being very shallow. And with Bounty's ability to run and Sandvik's ability to run, if she's able to get anything to the gaps, that's gonna get back to the track, I think.
Sandvik takes a big cut on the first pitch. It's a swinging strike, and now she'll look at a pitch on the outer half. 0-2, quickly down in the count to the left-handed batter as Kate Sandvik at the plate with an 0-2 count as she checks with the count with our home plate umpire. Allstott loads up, fires home, and Sandvik's going to put one in play on the third base side. It's read by the third baseman, and McCaleb. She'll haul in the ball for out number 1 of the inning, and this will bring up Riley Danielson, playing at shortstop after pitching in game number 1.
That was a really good pitch. Allstott is, in the first couple batters, really struggled with placement, got a great one, and got Kate to pop up.
Riley Danielson stands in with 1 away here in the bottom of the first inning, and we're scoreless. Danielson lifts one to center over the head of Willis, and that one is out of here. A 2-run home run for Riley Danielson as she'll round the bases, hauling in Gianna Bonney with her, and that will be her first home run of the season. She had 2 of those a year ago. She steps on home plate, and the Bobcats have a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first.
And Bounty was looking to tag up, and I was like, I don't know why, because Briley crushed that one. And I promise you, I was going to say before she hit, I go, she does have some pop in that bat.
Yeah,
which she just, that kept on going. But when you haven't gotten a hit in 2 ball games, when you've scored 1 run on a error in the last 3 games, getting up big, having a good inning from a defensive side on the top side, being able to put runs on the board in the bottom half is a big deal.
First pitch strike is into Lainey Danielson, who also has some pop in her bat. She hit 2 home runs a year ago. She already has 2 early on, both of those recorded against Waterloo East on the road earlier this season. And this one's ripped into the gap in left center field. That's going to get down and all the way to the warning track. It bounces off. Danielson is running into second base with a stand-up double.
And this is a big deal. You look at Allstott, incredibly talented, much like her sister, but she is a freshman. When you look at that freshman coming into the game, she struggled with placement early. She got Kate to pop up, but otherwise it's been belt high to the Danielson girls. It's been head high for Bonnie, and that's resulted in 2 runs, and along with Lainey Danielson standing on second base with just 1 out in the inning.
A really good hit right there to left center field, finding the gaps early on here. That home run by Briley Danielson in the right center field gap as well. As we take a look at the replay here on KFJB-TV, as Briley Danielson just got all that. She really squared up that ball.
That was belt high right over the plate, and I'm not here to question anything Coach Adams says. She has a lot more wins than you and I. But I am intrigued. Like, they were playing very shallow with no one on.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, yeah.
They were playing incredibly shallow. Now if you look at that, center fielder's a good 10 yards behind where she played in the last 2. And just the fun of softball. Wouldn't it be beautiful to have a bloop single right up the middle?
Aubrey Munt stands in. The right-handed batter gets the right-handed pitcher in Allstott. Line right back up the middle. Off the glove of Wills. Lainey Danielson to third, and there's runners on the corners for the Bobcats. A single by Munt. And we saw between games after that first game loss 12-0 to the Dodgers, a very fired up Jason Bowers. I mean, he was talking to his team very passionately, and I think that sparked a little something for the Cats for game number 2 here against Allstott.
Cats are missing, big bat that's not on the team this year. Last year with Emma Stepp with a lot of pop, but they still have a very talented team. Some of them just not as tested.
Runner will go down to second base, check back to third as a stolen bag for Aubrey Munt. She's into second safely, so runners at second and third for Kaylin Coleman in the 6th hole here tonight, taking a first pitch strike, but moving the runners with just 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. So Lady Danielson is at third, Aubrey Munt's at second, Coleman back in the box. Allstott loads up, fires home on the 0-1 upstairs. She'll watch it. Does Coleman 1-1. And a year ago for Kaylin Coleman at the plate, 250 with 3 runs. Off to a pretty nice start this year, hitting 400 with already 3 RBI.
And one of the things you look at when a young pitcher's struggling, you don't want to help her get better. You want to wait for the pitch. You don't want to, as that's up top 2-1, you don't want to help her out. You don't want to go chasing for anything. You want to make her pitch strikes and continue to be in the back of the freshman's mind.
In that count, 2-1 with just 1 out with runners at second and third for the Cats, already up 2-0. And now Coleman pops one up to right field. Back goes the right fielder. It's caught by Meyer. Tagging is Danielson. She's in to score. It's 3-0. Bobcats throw over to third base to try to get Munt, not in time. And the Bobcats get a sacrifice RBI flyout by Coleman to make it 3-0. Driving in Lainey Danielson. This is the start you would need against 4th-ranked Dodgers.
Yeah, this is about as good as you can draw it up. And you look at here, you have the freshman in Olivia Wise. She's one that I think by the time she's a sophomore, junior, she is going to be a bit of a power bat. I've seen her at the lower levels really be able to put a charge in it. Right now, hitting below 200, and a lot of that has to do with just catching up to the speed of the varsity game.
A state wrestler in her freshman season, pretty impressive as well. She's down on the count, 0-1. She'll take upstairs and outside, 1-1 from Aubrey Allstott.
You look at one of the interesting with the freshman, she made a nice play in that top of the first at second base. She's played really good defensively so far this year.
1-1 is upstairs as well, 2-1, thanks to our very own Jeff Brooks back in the radio studios on News Talk 1230 AM, 95.9. 93.9.
We're going to take all of the FM stations. We're taking 95.9.
We'll get scoreboard updates thanks to Jeff coming up throughout the night as well. Olivia Wise, big swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch from Allstott. It's a 2-2 count now with 2 down and still Munt standing on third base. So scoring might not be over if the Bobcats could get themselves another run here, up 3-0 in the bottom of the first inning. Wise will foul it off to the backstop, and she'll still stand in there with a 2-2 count as head coach Jason Bowers claps her on.
I'm going off speed if I'm Allstott, but Doster, two pitches ago thought it was strike three. She was going off, but it was just strike two.
Here's the 2-2. Wise off-speed pitch. Lines it right to the glove of McCaleb at third. She'll fire over to first in time as that was on the turf, or on the dirt. And Wise will be out on the 5-3 ground out for out number 3 of the inning. But a 2-run home run by Briley Danielson puts the Bobcats up 3-0 as we head to the second on KFJB-TV.
You're an empty nester closing in on that retirement property. Chances are your plans didn't include mom moving in, but life happens and you do the right thing. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement means caring for yourself and a loved one, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
At Greg Young Automotive, we go the extra mile for our customers across Iowa. Why do customers choose us and keep coming back? Because our commitment to exceptional service and satisfaction never wavers. With our extensive network of dealerships throughout Iowa, we leverage unbeatable pricing and offer a better inventory selection than other dealerships. Visit any of our 6 locations across the state and experience the Greg Young difference, where we'll go the extra mile for you.
Welcome back to Marshalltown Softball Complex. This is the way the defense sets up here tonight behind Hannah Osgood, who begins her second inning of action. Smith, Sandvik, and Munt from left to right in the outfield. It's Coleman at third, Briley Danielson at shortstop, Wise and Danielson on the right side of the infield. Osgood pitching to Bonnie, who is catching behind the home plate. Mia McCaleb will lead off the inning for first pitch strike from Hannah Osgood. McCaleb batting in the 5-hole, and the second pitch of the at-bat comes in low and in the dirt, as Bonnie will keep it in front of her. As Mia McCaleb, .333 a year ago with 5 runs and 3 RBI for the Dodgers.
She's tenacious defensively. In basketball, we saw her defensive capabilities out there at the hot corner as well. You look at Hannah Osgood, the sophomore, really for her, she's more of that off-speed and placement. That's really important for her. She's going to change speeds, change levels, has to go inside and out. She does not have Briley's overpowering fastball.
Here comes the 2-1 after the last pitch was a ball. It's grounded to Wise. It's second over to first to Lainey Danielson in time. And a 4-3 ground out for out number 1 as Mia McCaleb grounds out to begin the inning. And this will bring up Ashlyn Wills. A year ago, .455 at the plate with 2 runs, 5 RBI, and 4 stolen bags. She is now a senior, and the right-handed batter will step in against the right-handed pitcher, Hannah Osgood.
And with the off-speed pitcher, the second baseman, Wise, is playing more up the middle because you know that it's going to be a lot of pulling off of the slower pitcher there, and Olivia was right there to just gobble it up and throw it over to first.
Hannah Osgood taking a first pitch ball, and now she'll get a chopper to Briley Danielson at shortstop. Over to first to Lainey Danielson, the stretch, and it's there. A 6-3 ground out by Ashlyn Wills for out number 2 quickly of the inning. And this will bring up number 18, the freshman Grace Nichols. A year ago, not a ton of experience at the varsity level, 2 for 2 with 1 RBI, but she has the size to show she has a little bit of power out there. She is a left-handed batter as Grace Nichols, the DP, will step in.
She's the Richie Sexton of Iowa Alliance softball. That's a 20-year-old reference.
I have
Milwaukee
no
Brewers.
clue.
He was a
is.
very tall Milwaukee Brewers left-handed first baseman who then went to the Mariners and was terrible for a lot of money.
1-0, and that pitch will miss outside again to Nichols. 2-0 the count with 2 down here in the top of the second. Bobcats leading 3-0 in the second game of the doubleheader after losing 12-0 in game number 1. Osgood loads up, and she'll fire home on the outer half of the plate for a strike, 2-1.
And that's just what you're seeing. You're seeing her go just dabble on the corners, move it up and down. And really sometimes if you don't have that overwhelming speed, you know, the batter has to make all the power out of it
2-1 is Lone outside in the dirt, and now 3-1 to Grace Nichols. Seems like Osgood being a little bit cautious here with the big lefty at the plate.
And that's, with that 3-0 lead, you want to see her attack. You don't want to see free bases.
And the 3-1 is upstairs and inside, and that will walk Nichols. The 7-hole hitter works a walk with 2 outs in the inning. Bring up Callie Zimmerman, the first baseman for the Dodgers here tonight. And I believe we are going to have a pinch runner here, as checking in will be Melina Meyer, who's playing the field. So Nichols is hitting for Meyer, and they'll use a re-entry here, most likely in the bottom half of the second, to send Meyer back out to right field. So interesting. We'll see the pinch runner here as Meyer checks in and brings up Callie Zimmerman, the first baseman. A year ago, 0 for 5 at the plate. Not a ton of experience, but seems to, like every year, the Dodgers just find a way to reload.
Yeah, we were talking in between games. It's a system. It's something that it's the same from K through 12. So even if you're a freshman in this system, you've had some aspect of it if you've been in the Fort Dodge School District for 9 years.
Osgood missing outside. 1-0 on the first pitch to Zimmerman. And she'll load up and fire in the second pitch. Upstairs, fouled off, out of play on the third base side, a 1-1 count. And that's the luxury you have of a lot of years of consistency at the head coaching position, and really just kind of establishing, because it's like new players come in, but the older players are going to kind of set the tone for how the program runs.
Oh, very much so.
1-1 from Osgood. Upstairs and inside, runner goes. Bonnie throws off the mark, and a stolen bag for Meyer.
There are two programs and 2 things that I hate to say that I love. Fort Dodge softball, they run the same way, and then you look at perimeter defense from the Ames men's basketball team.
Yeah.
It is the same every single year. It does not matter the numbers or the names. It's always the same, and it's always impressive.
It was a ball on the throwdown. It's a 2-1 count. Swing and a big miss out of the glove of Bonnie. She'll throw to third. Throw is a little bit high as Coleman tried to tag the runner, and Meyer not able to do it. It's a stolen bag for Meyer. She works over to third. It was a good play, but just the throw a little bit too high right there, not able to get the runner. Pitch was in for a strike, so it's a 2-2 count to Zimmerman. As we take a look at the replay, and the runner getting in there just under that throw down to Coleman, and the runner and Meyer getting checked out there by her head coach. It looks like she was kind of stretching her neck just a little bit. Looks to be all right. Lights are turned on, but we don't need it for another hour and a half until sunset, but shadows starting to work their way onto the field. Here's the 2-2 outside. No, caught the edge of the plate. Wow, that fooled everybody, including Zimmerman, but it is a strikeout. Caught looking. First strikeout of the night for Hannah Osgood. Out number 3. Dodgers strand one at third base, and it's still 3-0 Cats. We head to the bottom of the second next, right here on KFJB-TV.
Registration for the upcoming school year in Marshalltown is Tuesday, July 8th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Miller Middle School. A birth certificate is required if a new student is joining. If parents are unable to attend, they can go online to the Infinite Campus System. To begin, go to the district website, marshalltown.k12.ia.us, and click on Academics. All new families in the Marshalltown Community School District must register at the District Welcome Center, downtown Marshalltown. Here's to the 2025-2026 school year.
At Tyler Pishong State Farm, we are M-Town proud.
For us, M-Town Proud is about having absolute pride in the place that we live and work. The people in this community represent everything that I believe in and everything I want to instill in my children.
Hardworking. Diverse. Genuine.
Kind. And passionate.
A blue-collar town that has shown countless times we can depend on each other.
We'd love to talk to you about what makes you
M-Town proud.
Coming up after the game, we'll name our player of the game, presented by Opa Grill in Marshalltown. Dylan, I have somebody in mind already for that player of the game, as we are just through an inning and a half of work here, but the Bobcats up 3-0.
I think there's a couple. I think there's both power, but there's also pitching. And both of those names, I think there's a couple good options out there.
Yeah, Briley Danielson with a 2-run home run in the bottom of the first inning, and that helped the Cats get off to a 3-0 start against the Dodgers, fourth-ranked in Class 4A. Carson Price, Hannah Osgood, Gianna Bonney to bat here in the second. 8-9-1 batters due up for the Cats, and the first pitch of the bottom of the second is low and outside, and that will be ball one to Carson Price, who is DP tonight, designated player, as Brooklyn Smith is in left field. Here's a 1-0, off-speed pitch will hit in for a strike for Allstott, a 1-1 count as Carson Price, a year ago for the Bobcats, a 205 hitter with 3 runs scored. As the freshman off to a little bit of a slow start here for the Bobcats, but she'll look in, and she's going to drag one over to first base, and an unassisted play by the first baseman in Zimmerman. One away as that one on the ground to Zimmerman, and she was able to tag the bag herself. This will bring up Hannah Osgood, tonight's starting pitcher for the Marshalltown Bobcats. She'll step in a year ago for the Cats at the plate. Hannah Osgood, 1 for 7 with 1 run. We saw her more on the mound than we did at the plate, but hopefully the right-handed batter try to get things going at the dish. And the first pitch from Allstott is a little below the knees, or right at the knees, for a called strike to Hannah Osgood.
And here's the obligatory broadcasters. She has the opportunity to help her own cause. You have to say that, legally binding.
That is for sure. Hannah Osgood, bloop shot, and a great catch by Allstott at shortstop. She ranged in and to her left, and she hauls it in as she dives for it. And Osgood, a hit taken away right there. And the line out by the shortstop. Allstott records a second out of the inning.
The softball just felt like it got inflated with helium at the end, and it just kind of kept hanging up in the air.
That is for
You're
sure.
like, go down, go down.
Bonnie hit by a pitch in her first at-bat of the night as she pops out of play. The first pitch she sees from Allstott came around to score on that Briley Danielson 2-run home run to right center field. So an 0-1 count here to the junior batter as Bonnie catching in game number 2, played center field. That's the thing about the Bobcats, with a few players not out in the past and a little bit of rotation from that roster. Bonnie's traditionally been in center field, but now we see her catching this year, and she takes a pitch right there for a ball, 1-1 the count from Allstott.
And Sandvik playing center field in the back end of this doubleheader. Usually it's short for Marshalltown, but when she's on the AAU circuit, plays a lot of outfield. So she plays a lot out there as well. So a good replacement for Bounty out, and Danielson's been really good over at shortstop so far tonight.
2-1 count. Left-handed batter, and Bonnie standing in, and she will rip this one to left field. Back goes Tootie a few steps. She'll range and make the catch, and it's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Allstott. As we head to the third, it's 3-0 Bobcats on KFJB-TV.
Some say life is like a road trip. Is it a coincidence Scooter's Coffee is a drive-thru? We don't think so. Whether you need a coffee while you enjoy the view, to just get you through the long stretch, or to refuel between stops, Scooter's Coffee is there, brewing up delicious coffee, espresso blenders, smoothies, iced drinks, and more, with the convenience of a drive-thru so you can stay on the road and enjoy the ride. So go ahead, scoot on around. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Scooters in Marshalltown.
Make the equity in your home work for you with the home equity loan from Lennox Employees Credit Union. Crush high-interest credit card debt and make needed improvements to your home. You have the power to refinance and change your financial life. With the lower interest rate, repayment is more comfortable than paying those high credit card interest rates. The loan process is easy. See Lennox Employees Credit Union, 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender. Online at lennoxecu.com.
Top of the third inning, Bobcats leading 3-0. Hannah Osgood picked up a caught-looking strikeout last inning as due up for the Fort Dodge Dodgers as we head to the third inning. It will be the 9-1-2 batters, but Hannah Osgood continuing to try to capitalize on a year ago. She went 2-3 with a 20 2/3 innings pitched. She had an 8.81 ERA with 12 strikeouts in those 20 2/3 innings pitched, but you could see the potential last year. She starts out the 9-hole hitter Aubrey Allstott with a first pitch ball.
She got a little bit of a cup of coffee her 8th grade year, pitched very sparingly, but looked more comfortable last year and looking even more so this year.
Fires in a ball for a 2-0 count now.
I don't love, she's fallen behind. Now this is about her 4th batter that she's fallen behind. With that 3-0 lead, you want to make sure it's first pitch strike.
2-0 is jammed off the inside of the bat. It's 2. Wise at second base over to Danielson in time. It is a 4-3 ground out for Aubrey Alstad, the 9-hole hitter, and that'll turn over the lineup to Hope Alstad. Leading off in the lineup, she grounded out for a 3 in the first inning. So both the Alstads with 4-3 ground outs early on here tonight. You like that from Hannah Osgood getting that weak contact.
Yeah, absolutely. Get it right off the handle. Olivia Wise has just been automatic there at second base. And and a lot of that goes back to that alignment. Olivia's not having to move hardly at all because that alignment as she shades up the middle. And Hannah's making the pitches, and it's not always about the speed. She's been able to move it in on the hands there. It has a little bit of a tail action.
Osgood missed inside low on the first pitch. 1-0. It's fought off, and in foul territory it will stay as it did hit off of Alstad and then rolled towards Osgood. So it's a 1-1 count now. Top of the third inning, 1 out. As right-handed batter digs back into the batter's box. Osgood on the pitcher's plate. She'll rock and fire home, and this one right to Wise. She dives to her right and makes the catch. A line drive by the freshman in Wise. She makes the catch, and Wise all over the place here tonight. That's her 4th defensive, either a put out or an assist here tonight.
She's rock solid. Rock solid is probably an understatement.
She might have a few rocks in her jersey as well after that last dive.
She might need to be a shakeout of those said rocks. But
so 2 down now as Hope Alstad lines out to Olivia Wise. This will bring up Macy Wills, left-handed batter. Had a single. She was caught stealing back in the first inning, and she'll take a first pitch strike.
Yeah, she showed the athleticism and the quickness. It's not always about top-end speed. It's about quick reaction and being able to move quickly, and she just was right on it.
Bunt shown. She brings it back, and Wills will take a ball outside at 1-1. I'm assuming you're a right-handed batter at the plate, right?
Yes.
Here's the 1-1. And bunt. She did offer. It'll be strike number 2. Did you like righty or lefty when you were at the plate?
So lefty's always weird. Unless you play at the very highest level, you don't see it a lot. See a ton of lefty. So
I
lefty
agree.
is
I always
always,
was kind of thrown off.
It comes at you differently.
1-2 is slapped to short. Danielson makes the stop over to first, not in time. Wills will beat it out. That'll be an infield single. Danielson ranged to her left and slid. Kind of bobbled it initially, but got it off and just couldn't get it there in time. What a great effort by Briley Danielson. But Wills will be aboard with 2 outs here in the top of the third inning and to bring up Ellie Doster batting in the 3-hole. She had a walk back in the first.
And that was one where you said that weird hop and it handcuffed her. Just like hung on the wrist. She couldn't get it out of the mitt quick enough. And in softball, those 60-foot pass, it's got to be right over to first.
Yes, it does. First pitch strike is in to Doster on the outer half. Righty versus righty in the matchup. It is an 0-1 count as Wills taking a little bit of that secondary lead after the pitch thrown by Osgood. Here's the 0-1 on the way. And this one is slapped into right center field. That'll get down. Wills is going to round over to second, now to third. She's being rounded from third to home, and she'll score. It's a double by Doster and an RBI. She drives in Macy Wills from first base. That was into the right center gap. Good placement, got all the way to the wall, and able to easily score is Macy Wills.
And this is where Hannah is one mistake they were able to elevate. That's the first ball they've really been able to elevate. The hit to shortstop, close play there, but then you get that double. This is where Hannah is like, all right, it's just 1 run, 3-1 lead. You focus on the batter at hand.
Doster at second. She takes off, but she'll head back to second base as it's a first pitch strike into Cadence Toohey. And on a fielder's choice, when Ellie Doster ran into the second baseman. She was called out. Doster will return to second base as Tooney takes a ball on the second pitch of the at-bat from Osgood. Tooney stands back in. Osgood on the 1-1. Slapped to third base under the glove of Coleman. Runner rounds from second to home, throws off the line into second base on the throw, and now an overthrow into center field. That'll get Tooney over the third base. Coleman didn't glove it on the throw again, and that will be an E5 that will get Tooney all the way to third base as the throwing error as well gets into center field, and the Bobcats on the E2 let her get to third base. So it'll be an RBI for Tooney as she drives in Ellie Doster. It's 3-2, Dodgers down by 1 here in the top of the third. All of this run production coming with 2 outs in the inning, Dylan.
And that's the big thing. You saw a couple real critical mistakes there. One is, of course, the error at third base. We should be out of the inning, but then you get it into there was no reason to try to gun down the person at second base. They were almost already there. You got to know when to throw it and know when to not.
So the first couple of errors of the night for the Bobcats cost them now 2 runs in the inning as the Dodgers back within 1 run as Mia McCaleb grounded out 4-3 last inning. She'll head to the plate for her second at-bat of the night. Here's the first pitch. It is slapped into foul territory down the right field line, and this one will be out of play for Munt out there in right field. It's an 0-1 count to Mia McCaleb.
And Coleman, I've been over there at that hot corner where you think you've got it, but you just didn't do the fundamentals of getting your backside down, and it goes right between the legs. And you just feel like you're all alone on an island. She'll be able to make that adjustment and get the next one.
0-1 is at the top of the zone for a strike to Mia McCaleb. She checked her swing, did not go around, and it's 0-2 to McCaleb. So right-handed batter at the plate against the right-handed pitcher in Hannah Osgood, looking to get out of the inning. Runner over at third and Cadence Tooney. And here comes the 0-2, and McCaleb will just get a piece of it. To the backstop it goes. And Hannah Osgood will look for that third out of the inning right here.
McCaleb did a nice job of fighting that one off. That's a great 0-2 pitch by Osgood.
McCaleb back into the batter's box. Hannah Osgood initiates the rubber, and she'll fire home. And it is chopped to Briley Danielson. Eats her up at shortstop. McCaleb is over to first base. That'll be an E6. And it drives in Cadence Tooney, and we're tied at 3.
That's a tough one right there. This is really where the Cats, you get that 3-0 lead. This is where it becomes more of a mental game than anything. You get that 3-0 lead, you start believing in yourself against that 4th-ranked team. When it's 3-3, you've had some errors you can start to doubt. They've got to remain positive, remain confident that they've got a great shot in this ball game because Hannah's pitched really, really well. There's been a couple defensive gaffes, but you flip it on the other side, Bobcats have made good contact against Allstott as well.
Ashlyn Wills at the plate takes the first pitch ball upstairs, 1-0. Hannah Osgood loads up, fires home. Wise dives at second as the ball hit to her left. She'll get up, fire it to third, and under the throw is McCaleb. The runner between first and second. The Bobcats will just get it back to the pitcher and Hannah Osgood. And over to second goes Mia McCaleb, she goes to third. Ashlyn Wills goes to second, as that will be a single for Wills. That was a tough play for Wise at second base, diving to her right. And so now runners at second and third. And still all of this production coming with 2 outs in the inning in a 3-3 ball game.
And that looked a little bit of confusion in defensive rotation because as they went to third, they had Wills was out in between first and second and just kind of standing there.
Yeah.
I think
trying to bait the Bobcats into a throw so they could try to score another run,
but still I think when it was pretty egregious, and I think you could have played it both sides there. But I agree with you. That's probably why they did not throw it there.
So 2 down in the inning. And Grace Nichols will be back at the plate. And I think I don't know if we saw re-entry officially done, but it is officially done right now, so I'm not sure if we had Grace Nichols out in the field last inning. If so, it would be an illegal substitution. But Grace Nichols at the plate, drives in. Mia McCaleb from third as she goes right back up the middle and scores 2 runs. Ashlyn Wills was off on the hit from second base, and it's now 5-3 Dodgers. All 5 runs this inning coming off of 2 outs in the inning, 3 Bobcat errors, and now 2 RBIs driven in by Grace Nichols.
And that's the tough stuff, is like a couple of hard hit balls here and there, that's going to happen. But when you combine that with 2 to 3 errors, misplays, misthrows, it becomes the avalanche that becomes much harder to dig out from under.
Osgood fires in. That's going to catch the outer half for a strike to Callie Zimmerman. Caught looking back in the second inning. And so it's a 0-1 count. It's still in the top of the third inning. Left-handed batter Zimmerman standing in there with a runner at first base. Here's the 0-1 swing, and contact Wise will field it at second base over to first in time. And a 4-3 ground out for out number 3. 9 batters come to the plate, 5 score, and it's now Dodgers 5-3. We head to the bottom of the third on KFJB-TV.
Legends American Grill is the perfect place to watch your favorite team. Enjoy wings, nachos, steaks, and prime rib available on Friday and Saturday nights. It's game on for great food and your favorite drink to wash it down. You like burgers? Legends has fantastic, unique burger creations like this. The Legends Burger. Absolutely delicious. Gather with friends, enjoy your favorite team's games with the NFL Sunday Ticket, and make some memories. Legends American Grill in Marshalltown and our new Newton location, where the game is always on.
Scoreboard update tonight, all brought to you by Central State Bank.
And we're looking down at Grinnell against South Tama. It is 1-0 in the bottom of the first.
Central State Bank brings you scoreboard updates thanks to our producer and back at the radio studios, Jeff Brooks, providing our scores tonight. Central State Bank, discover what Central State Bank can do for you. Locations in Ames, State Center, and in West Des Moines. Production of today's game is all made possible by the Home Rental Center in Marshalltown. NeedItRentIt.com. So we head to the bottom of the third. Now a new game, 5-3. Bobcats leading 5 runs in there, helped out by 3 errors in the top of the third inning by the Bobcats. As the Bobcats will look to counter some production here by setting the 2-3-4 batters to the plate.
And this is where Bounty started off that first inning, hit by a pitch. Sandvik popped up, but then the Danielson sisters, a home run, a double, both ended up scoring. See if Kate can get us started off on this one.
5 hits, 5 runs tonight for the Dodgers at the plate. Meanwhile, for the Bobcats, 3 hits, 3 runs. Kate Sandvik flew out to third base in the first inning as she bats for the second time tonight. And she'll stand in the left-handed batter's box against Aubrey Allstott, who is ready to go. And a first pitch ball on the outer half and away to Sandvik, 1-0.
And since that double from Lainey Danielson, you've seen that Fort Dodge outfield again stay a little bit deeper than they had previously.
1-0 is driven right between first and second, and Sandvik is aboard with a single to begin the bottom of the third inning as Briley Danielson, a 2-run home run in her first at-bat of the night in game number 2. Back of the first inning as she drove in Bonnie. And so she'll stand in for the second time tonight against Aubrey Allstott as she took a pitch to right center field for that 2-run home run. Allstott loads up, fires home to Danielson, and that one upstairs. No, it did catch the outer half in an off-speed pitch. A strike to Danielson, 0-1.
Home runs are like scoops of ice cream. If one is good, 2 is better.
That is true.
I just say let's do it again.
The 0-1. And waits on the off-speed pitch, drives it down the left field line as all the way near the warning track it goes as Tooney will fire it back in. Sandvik to second, Briley Danielson with a single.
Briley looked like she's like, come on, Kate, you should have tried third. But Briley hit that thing on the nose, so it got out to left field in a hurry. That would have been a close play at third and probably discretion is the better part of valor.
Yeah, that is for sure. We have a meeting inside the circle here as the Dodgers call the timeout to have a little meeting in the circle here as Aubrey Allstott is the starting pitcher and just a freshman out there. What's kind of the message being told right here with runners at first and second?
I think it's, as dumb and cliche as it sounds, it's like, just calm down. Just kind of breathe. All right, it's first and second. Let's focus on this batter. Really what it's coming up is a lot of her pitches are ending up belt high in the middle of the plate. And she's just trying to find strikes. She's been a little bit wild at points. And not so much wild, but just off, I would say. Just off the edge of the plate.
So this will bring up Lainey Danielson. Again, the Bobcats fell 12-0 in game number 1, but making some noise here in game number 2. Lainey Danielson steps in, right-handed batter versus right-handed pitcher, and that one will work its way back inside for a strike on the inner half of the plate. 0-1 to Lainey Danielson. A double and a run scored back in the first inning. She has her sister at first base and Kate Sandvik at second. Here's the 0-1. And that one will be a strike on the outer half. Down in the count, Lainey Danielson 0-2.
Allstott's got a really nice arm action on that changeup. Makes her fastball look even faster because it's a similar arm action, but that changeup just kind of lollipops out of her hands and gets the batter on their heels.
Bunt shown. She'll bring it back and takes the ball outside and upstairs. 1-2. I think they were thinking, hey, at least move the runners here up a bag. Lainey Danielson will step back into the batter's box with a 1-2 count against Allstott. She'll show bunt again, and she'll put it down right underneath home plate. They'll go to third for the force outs, and out is Kate Sandvik as Lainey Danielson will be standing at first base on the fielder's choice. So Kate Sandvik is out on the force out as the catcher and Doster picks it up, fires to third base for out number 1 of the inning. Riley Danielson stands at second base, Lainey Danielson at first.
And that just comes down to you bunted it 8 inches in front of the plate. You've got to make the catcher get out of their crouch and have to make multiple movements.
Yeah,
there.
Just died right there at home plate. And the first pitch to Munt is upstairs for a ball, 1-0. Aubrey Munt, a single, a stolen bag, stranded at third back in the first inning. And she stands in with a 1-0 count against Allstott. Runners at first and second. 1 out in the inning. Here in the bottom of the third inning, Bobcats down by 2 runs. 5-3 our score. The next pitch is upstairs, 2-0.
One of the things with that off speed, though, the arm speed is really good on it. She has not been consistently in the strike zone with that.
Munt will look. Here comes the 2-0, and that one will hit the outside and away corner for a strike, 2-1.
And Munt was taken the whole time on that one.
Munt back into the box with those runners at first and second. Head coach Jason Bowers looking on there at third. Here's the 2-1. Off speed, gets her out in front. It's 2-2.
That off speed. If she gets it over the plate, you can tell why she is starting games as a freshman. Is like if she can get that, she's got 2 really good pitches.
Here's the 2-2. Swings and fouls it into the backstop on the first base side. Still 2-2 count. Again, 1 out in the inning as we're in the bottom of the third inning.
And with those 2 strikes and 2 balls, do you think that Coach Bauer might have them running at all?
Back up to the middle, back to the pitcher. The runners will advance. It is a 1-3 ground out for Aubrey Munt. She moves the runners up a bag. Riley Danielson to third, Lainey Danielson to second. But that is the second out of the inning as Aubrey Munt sends a hot shot right back to Allstott, and she ranged to her left, kind of slid, but made a good throw over to Zimmerman at first.
Yeah, and all of that is like, don't rush. You got there, breathe, make a good throw.
First pitch to Coleman, upstairs, swings and misses, 0-1. An RBI sacrifice fly as she drove in Lainey Danielson in the first inning. Coleman will take a moment to think about it. She's back into the box. And the 0-1 from Allstott on the way. And popped up. This one playable. Maybe. Third base side, no. Off of the backstop and works its way into the crowd. It'll be an 0-2 count to Coleman.
And with this 0-2, with Coleman with that air in the top half of the inning, you know the natural thing to go through the player's head is, all right, now I can get it back. Now I can get it back. You want her just to allow all the repetition of practice to lead her, not just, you don't want her to be anxious or overhyped at the plate trying to get one back. But
yeah, meeting in the circle here, we saw the shot from our very own Keith Stewart as a fan tracking down that foul ball. He's been a big fan of foul balls tonight. Keith Stewart has been.
He always is, and I think he's always a bigger fan if they don't hit him.
That's
true. Usually where Keith is the biggest fan of.
It's a celebratory shot. He's celebrating. Oh, that one didn't hit me. It's always interesting here at the softball complex, being right next to the. Is it a senior living center?
It's not a senior living center. It's a
retirement village villa.
I think so.
Is it a villa?
Maybe it's not. It's townhomes.
Anyway,
it's a nice
balls
townhomes.
Always end up over there. All right, here we go. 0-2 to Coleman. Outside, 1-2. That one just missing as the catcher in Doster trying to frame that one up, but home plate umpire not having any of it right there, Dylan.
If you live at Bobcat Estates and you're watching on YouTube, just comment
Clarify.
what you are.
1-2 on the way upstairs. Coleman looks, and a good job here to be patient at the plate and working it back to a favorable count at 2-2. Runners at second and third for the Cats, down by 2 runs. They hopped out to an early 3-0 lead against the Dodgers. Here's the 2-2. Off speed, gets her chasing. Coleman is down on a swinging strikeout. Second strikeout of the night for Allstott. And the Bobcats have a couple of runners. They strand him on the base pass, not able to do anything with it. We head to the 4th inning, 5-3. Cats trail on KFJB-TV.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Edward Jones financial advisor Zach Wall can help. He'll work with you on an investment strategy for long-term results. Edward Jones can give you the tools and knowledge for a steady approach to hitting your financial targets. Get started by giving Zach Wall a call at 641-752-3017 in Marshalltown or visiting edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Heading to the 4th inning, Bobcats trailing 5-3. Had a couple of early hits that last inning, but couldn't do anything with it.
It all came down that try to bunt to move the runners into scoring position with less than 2 outs. Didn't work. Got the lead runner there.
We got clarification. Luxury apartments.
So what we're wanting,
and it's not just seniors.
Not just seniors.
Okay, all right.
It's just people that enjoy luxurious things. So
wow.
a lot of
I didn't know we had that here in Marshalltown. I feel like we're more prestigious now.
Yeah, people. Those are people that wear silk pajamas. Let's just say that. And may own an ascot or two.
I've never had silk sheets or anything.
You're missing out.
Wow,
missing out.
I feel like that would be a hazard. You jump on the bed and you slide off. No horsing around.
Yeah, my wife said I cannot use the slip and slide to get into bed again. So
it is the 9-1-2 batters due up for the Dodgers as we begin the 4th, and the pitch is upstairs and outside. It's a 1-1 count to Aubrey Allstott, who grounded out 4-3 last inning in the 3rd, and she digs in. As I heard an interesting discussion when I was watching baseball, I believe it was last night or the night before, but what do you technically count as batting around? If it goes to the 10th person who already bounded, or if it just goes to the ninth hitter?
No, I think to bat around, it has to be the second time a person came up.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
I feel like if all 9 come to the plate, it's close.
You're batting through. You've got to go. You got to come back around. It's like a clock.
Circle around again.
A clock doesn't go all the way around until it hits 12 again.
Okay.
Right?
All right. 3-1, and now Osgood fires back with a strike to Allstott. It is a full count. Allstott leading off the fourth. We'll see Hope Allstott and Macy Wills this inning as well. Here's Osgood on the full count delivery, lifted to left field. Back goes the left fielder. Over the wall it goes as Smith watches it right out. The 9-hole hitter, Aubrey Allstott, with a solo home run, and the Dodgers now lead 6-3.
And that's what you don't want. It's like that's, that bottom of 9 and coming off of giving up 5 runs, not all of those earned whatsoever. But just Hannah's got to just breathe, continue to attack. She does know, the offense has been getting hits, it has been able to get runners.
That is her first home run of the season as Aubrey Allstott again making it 6-3 here in the fourth. So Hannah Osgood will have to reset here as she'll start with the top of the lineup after that home run to left field. And she'll start off Hope Allstott with a first pitch strike.
That was a good pitch, coming right back, getting strike one right away.
Who's yelling? Is that Dodgers? 0-1 on the way, ripped to left field down the line. That will be fair by about a foot. Smith will range over to the warning track and throw it back in. It's a stand-up double for Hope Allstott. And the bats are coming alive here in the third and fourth inning now for the Dodgers.
And the thing with more of an off-speed placement pitcher is placement's real. If you're going to be off-speed, you've got to be on point. And right there, she caught way too much of the plate. She's done that twice. Where, again, not to reuse what we've been talking about, but if your pitches are ending up belt high in the middle of the plate, that's the problem.
And we can look at the Dodger dugout. They're the ones making all that ruckus, Dylan.
Well, got to go ask them to quiet down a little bit.
Yeah, that's for sure. A bunt placed down. The throw by Coleman not in time. They'll throw back to home plate. And around the throw goes Hope Allstott, and she'll score. She was at second, went to third on the Macy Wills hit, and she will pick up an RBI as she drives in Hope Allstott. But the throw just not in time by Coleman over to first base. And Laney Danielson threw back to Bonnie at home plate, and the Bobcats not able to get her, and it's now 7-0 as Macy Wills drives in Hope Allstott. 7-3.
So, and that's really where you can tell, switching back and forth where Bonnie played top half, the doubleheader in center field. Her placement on there, because the throw was on time, but where Bonnie was set up, she could not get the reach around tag, and a lot of that just happens from not playing the position consistently, because what it takes to play catcher and center field are two different things.
And Osgood facing Ellie Doster, and she will take a first pitch. Did they rule out a strike? Did not see the indication. And the pitch, next one is upstairs, and that'll be a ball. I believe it's 2-0 to Ellie Doster. 1-1 to Ellie Doster.
It was a strike.
All right, so Doster at the plate with a 1-1 count. As Osgood will load up and fire, and this one fought off into foul territory out of play. It is a 2-1 count now. Hard to believe. Started out 3-0 Bobcats and now find themselves in a 4-run deficit. 7-3 now.
And tonight it's been what has failed. It hasn't really failed them too much this year is just errors. Defensive mistakes is what's really bummed them out. Here in this inning, everything's been hard hit, but there in that third inning, it was a lot of errors to go with timely singles.
Last pitch missed, so it is now 3-1, and upstairs fought off. Now a full count to Doster as she was looking to hack that one, but it is into the backstop. 3-2 the count. 2-2 the count, they're saying now. All right. We're all over the place here.
We are.
Osgood will load up and fire home. This one fought off again. Still a 2-2 count.
And behind the dish is Hall of Fame coach Mike Vint. East Marshall fame. I'm an East Marshall alum. He was softball coach when I was in school, those many years ago. It's amazing that someone that was coaching when I was a kid is still involved in the game.
Rip to Wise, and she'll tag the bag at second, and they get the runner off the bag in Macy Wills for out number 2 of the inning. So Doster, a line out to Olivia Wise, who's played a really good second base tonight, and they fire as Wise just unassisted right there. She tags over to second base, gets the runner when she was off, and there's now 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning.
And not for hyperbole. I don't want to do hyperbole, but I also think it's true. Have we seen in softball or baseball over the last 5 years a freshman really come in for the first time, play that solid defensively, that goes foul down the right field line?
Tooney ripping that one foul for an 0-1 count against Osgood. She reached on an error and scored in the 3rd. She had a fielder's choice in the 1st inning to end that inning. Osgood back on the pitcher's plates and fires home. This one lifted to right field. Back goes Munt. And short of the warning track, she'll range, and she'll make the catch for out number 3. So, 2-run score, a solo home run by Aubrey Allstott. Hope Allstott is driven in by Macy Wills. And the Dodgers extend their lead 7-3 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning on KFJB-TV.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
Back out for the 4th inning of work, Aubrey Allstott for the Dodgers tonight. We have not really seen too many pitching changes throughout the night, but we do have a pitching change, all brought to you throughout the night by Ethington Heating and Cooling. They're not comfortable until you are. A pretty comfortable night out here at the softball complex, 73 degrees, as right now we have partly cloudy skies.
Allstott's still in there.
Dylan, you weren't listening. I'm not saying there is a pitching change. I'm saying if there is a pitching change.
If there is. I was listening, just not well.
Yeah. Why you got to ruin our broadcast like that? It was seamless until you said that.
It was seamless until you said it was 7-0. So
I made one gaffe, and you're hanging on to it. One slip of the tongue. You've never done that.
No, I haven't. If you wonder what it's like to be...
I'm retiring after tonight.
Brandon's broadcast partner, it's basically a marriage, is what this is.
You're not listening to me.
No.
All right, we go to the bottom of the 4th inning as the Bobcats down by 4 runs. Olivia Wise, Carson Price, Hannah Osgood, 7, 8, 9 batters due up this inning. And a first pitch bunt dropped down by Olivia Wise. It works its way into foul territory, just right on home plate, and it is an 0-1 count.
You'd like to see some of that defensive prowess. Can she turn that into getting on base on the offensive side?
0-1, checks her swing. It's upstairs. They do check down to the first base umpire. They say Wise did not go around, so it'll be a 1-1 count. Wise back into the batter's box. Righty versus righty. Here comes the pitch from Allstott. That's a good off-speed pitch on the inner half. Fools Wise. It's a 1-2 count.
When she can throw that for a strike, that arm speed to the point of release is very similar, and that thing is floating in there.
And she'll speed things up and go outside for a ball 2-2.
And it just makes that fastball look another 5 miles an hour faster.
See a pitching change, or potentially a pitching change. We do have a player warming up down in the bullpen for the Dodgers. Upstairs goes Allstott, gets Wise swinging, a strikeout. 3rd of the night for Aubrey Allstott for the first out here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
It feels like the Bobcats' top 4 in their lineup have hit the ball pretty well here tonight. It feels like you're going to have to get a couple base runners off that bottom third of the lineup to get back into this. Somebody who has not produced so far needs to get one in. If that's Price, if that's Osgood, you've got to get some base runners for when they do flip the lineup, that Bounty, Sandvik have people to drive around into scoring position.
First pitch to Carson Price, a ball, 1-0, and she'll have an off-speed pitch on the outer half. Swinging over top and missing is Carson Price, 1-1. Price ground out to first base back in the 2nd inning.
As a hitter, I tell you, I much more fear a great changeup to a great fastball.
Chopper right back on one hop to Allstott, over to Zimmerman in time, and that is a 1-3 ground out for Carson Price, 2-away here in the bottom of the 4th.
And the reason I say that is with that good changeup is with a fastball, you're speeding yourself up. You're in flow with it. In a changeup, you often find yourself hesitating or you're waiting on it. And it can throw off that rhythm, just your swing rhythm and everything. And Allstott, when she's settled down, she's been very effective.
Allstott will fire at a first pitch ball a little bit upstairs to Hannah Osgood, who lined out to shortstop in the 2nd. Here's the 1-0 from Allstott. Upstairs again. Osgood will lay off it, 2-0.
And I anticipate Osgood is going to be taking on this 3rd pitch with 2 outs, nobody on.
And the 2-0, she does lay off it. It's a strike on the outer half, 2-1.
And now this is where she needs to attack this. You don't want to keep the bat on your shoulder if you find something you think you can handle and just sit there being down to your last strike.
And the 2-1 on the inner half will float in for a strike. It's 2-2 to Osgood now.
It reminds me of the Looney Tune thing where they miss and they just spin themselves, drill themselves down into the ground.
Here's the pitch from Allstott, and that will be outside. And now it's full count to Hannah Osgood.
And that was right on the edge there. Where does Allstott go? Does she go back to that changeup, which has been on point?
It's been pretty deadly
here in the 4th, but she missed earlier in the
3-2 is slapped out of play down the first base side.
Great job by Hannah fending that off, fighting with 2 strikes. She went fastball there. I anticipate this being off speed.
Here's the 3-2. And she will go off speed. It's slapped to shortstop. Allstott has a read over to first in Zimmerman in time. It's a 1-2-3 inning, a 6-3 ground out for out number 3 by Hannah Osgood. And now 3 strikeouts on the night for Aubrey Allstott. We head to the 4th. Bobcats trail the Dodgers 7-3 on KFJB-TV.
At Greg Young Automotive, we're more than just a dealership. We're a part of your community. We believe in transparent pricing with no hidden tricks or gimmicks. Just honest deals you can trust. Our commitment to fair pricing and supporting our local communities is why so many choose us. Greg Young Automotive, where integrity drives us and you home. Visit any of our 6 locations across the state and experience the Greg Young difference, where we'll go the extra mile for you.
We head to the top of the 5th inning. Bobcats trailing by 4 runs, 7-3 to the 4th-ranked Dodgers of Fort Dodge in Class 4A. Bobcats in 5A, standing at a record of 2-4. And meanwhile, the Dodgers had a mark of 4-1 after they took down the Bobcats in game number 1, 12-0 here tonight. So I'm Brandon Lewis. Dylan Dose alongside me. Our producer is David Braga. Our radio producer, Jeff Brooks, back at the studios. And Elijah Bond on our center field cam. And down the third base line, our very own Keith Stewart. Thanks so much for joining us tonight as we get a quick scoreboard update, all brought to you by Central State Bank. Scoreless between West Marshall and Roland Story after 1 inning. Des Moines Roosevelt took down Ottumwa tonight, 6-2 the final there. And Des Moines Lincoln tops Des Moines North 11-9 in game number 1. The last time we had an update, Grinnell leading South Tama 8-0 in the 2nd inning. So 5 innings as we are played here now. 4 innings through it. I guess we head to the 5th inning, Dylan. I misspoke again for the second time tonight. You want to say anything about that?
You know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. Now you're in your own head, and that's where I love to be.
Last year, you took cover on a foul ball into the fence. I'm just wondering what's going to happen this year. You're in a press box now, and you've got the fence in front. Are you still going to be flinching?
Depends on the angle of the foul ball.
Mia McCaleb leading off the inning. She'll send a fly ball to Kate Sandvik in center. She ranges back a few steps, make the catch, and Mia McCaleb is retired for out number 1 here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, we've almost gotten foul balls over in baseball, which is a pretty difficult one to get to. So if anything comes near back here, I will be flinching, and I will be putting you in front of me.
Ashlyn Wells steps in. She had a single and a run scored back in the 3rd and a ground out. She's 1 for 2 tonight. She'll slap one right past the first base glove of Lainey Danielson, kind of knuckling away from her, and it's a single for Ashlyn Wells, her 2nd of the night. 1 down here in the top of the 5th, and this will bring up the big bat of Grace Nichols. She had a 2 RBI single in her last bat in the 3rd.
Yeah, that was a proverbial pull cue right there. It went right off the end of the bat and just spun right down that line. But Nichols took one right directly into right field. Got it right on the sweet part of the bat.
And she's going to be asked to show bunt here. She will offer, and it's a called strike. Regardless to Grace Nichols, 0-1 from Hannah Osgood.
Yeah, just a couple of the differences when you're looking from the baseball to the softball side. You'll see a lot more bunting up and down the lineup on the softball side than you will on the baseball side.
Here's the 0-1 from Osgood, slapped into right center field. That's going to get down and all the way to the bottom of the wall. It hits. Rounding second over to third is Ashlyn Wills. She'll be sent home. The relay throw is off the line. That will move Nichols over to second base.
And that was a missed cutoff because there would not have been a score there if that would have hit cutoff, because I think they would have stopped at third base, or a very good shot to get them at home.
So Grace Nichols with her 3rd RBI of the night. And she'll be substituted for by Melina Meyer. It is now 8-3, Dodgers with the lead.
She gets to just rake and break. You know, she doesn't have to run. She doesn't have to play the outfield.
Callie Zimmerman will step in, 0 for 2 tonight. First baseman, the caught-looking strikeout back in the 2nd inning. And the pitch, driven into right field. Munt will relay it back in, but from second base comes Meyer to score. And it is now 9-3, a 6-run lead for the Dodgers in the top of the 5th inning. And that was a hard hit ball by Callie Zimmerman, a single into right field as that gets down and she picks up an RBI.
And we've got a coach's visit to the mound.
And we'll see if a pitching change will come here or if it's just a pep talk in a 6-run deficit. Here's Hannah Osgood in the circle tonight to start game number 2. Briley Danielson pitched in game number 1 for the Marshalltown Bobcats.
And this was the tough inning in that the top one of the double bill. It was that 6-run. It was that 6-run 5th inning that made it 12-0 and finished the game. Bobcats giving up 2 here so far in the 5th. See if Hannah can get back into this, bear down, and be able to get some outs here.
So Osgood will stay in the contest. Aubrey Allstott will head to the plate. She has a runner at first in Callie Zimmerman. And there is just 1 out. Mia McCaleb flew into center field to begin the inning. But since then, 3 straight singles and 2 runs scored. Osgood fires home. Runner gets a big secondary lead. Does not go, and it will be a first pitch ball in there to Aubrey Allstott. A solo home run last inning.
Yeah, that thing just kind of got up in the jet stream and kept going.
Yeah. 1-0. And that one just a touch upstairs from Osgood, 2-0. Pretty deep fielding here by Smith in left field as well as Sandvik out there in center field. Here's the 2-0, and it's chopped to shortstop. Backhanded by Briley Danielson. Over to Laney Danielson at first, and a good play for the out. It's out number 2 as 6-3 ground out by Ulstadt does move Callie Zimmerman over to second.
That was a good job by Briley because she was moving up to the middle and actually had to come back to her right on that. Was able to gobble up, throw it right over, right on the money to Laney.
2 outs in the inning. Runner at second for the Dodgers. Up 9-3, and the first pitch is going to be a little bit up and outside to Hope Ulstadt. Ball 1. Nice night as shadows starting to creep their way into the right side of the infield as well as right field. Here's the 1-0 from Osgood, and low and inside. Stopped by Bonnie behind the dish, and it's 2-0.
And we haven't talked about it so far tonight, but they've done extensive bleacher work out here at the Softball Diamond. We're in a press box. It's a much better viewing experience than it has been in years past. Looks really good out here.
2-0 is cut down the line in left field, but just foul by about a foot, and it's the first strike of the at-bat to Hope Ulstadt. David and Elijah did talk about that in game number 1 a little bit earlier tonight. I know you weren't listening to them.
America comes for what we have to say.
That's true.
No
one cares about David.
We love Elijah.
Just kidding. That's not true. We care about David.
We care immensely. They did a great job.
We care so much we get mad at him. Yep. Here's the 2-1, and it's chopped to shortstop. Riley Danielson has a read on it. Long throw, not in time. Relay back to home plate, off the glove of Bonnie. The run scores, and it's now 10-3. It's over to second. Goes Hope Ulstadt. So it's a single, an RBI. And unfortunately, the relay from Laney Danielson to home plate to Bonnie just off the mark. And that will score the run in Callie Zimmerman.
Yeah, that was one of those where Laney put it right there, but I think Gianna was trying to tag before she had it, kind of rushed the tag and could not lock the ball in her glove.
So now a 7-run lead for the Dodgers here in the top of the 5th. And a lot of their production tonight has come with 2 outs, just like right here. Another run scoring right there off the RBI of Hope Ulstadt as Macy Wills stands in. So far tonight, she's 3 for 3 with 3 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. Left-handed batter at the plate, taking that first pitch ball 1-0. Osgood will load up and fire home, and in the dirt outside. Bonnie stops it. Fakes a throw down to third as the runner, Hope Ulstadt, takes off. And she's into third. 2-0 count on Macy Wills.
Just see Hannah buckle down here. She's behind 2-0 in the count.
Just needing one more out here to get out of the top of the 5th inning. And the pitch is upstairs into the backstop. Out of the glove of Bonnie, and the run scores. That'll be a wild pitch. And Hope Ulstadt will score from third base. It's 11-3 now in the top of the 5th inning as Will's still at the plate with a 3-0 count now after that last pitch ball.
And it really feels like Hannah on some of these, especially in this inning, a lot of her misses. It almost feels like she's holding on to the ball too long. It's lollipopping on the backside instead of driving it in. It's ending up head high on some of those.
So another run scores with 2 outs in the inning. It is a 3-0 count to Macy Wills. And inside it will miss for ball 4. So Wills will head down to first, and this will bring up the catcher and Ellie Doster. Productive night tonight, a walk, as well as an RBI double back in the 3rd inning. She had a line out as well on the evening, and she'll take off her catcher's gear and head to the plate. With 2 outs in the inning, Macy Wells stands at first as Doster will bat here against Hannah Osgood. Still have Coleman over at third, Briley Danielson at shortstop. Olivia Wise is at second base, Laney Danielson at first. It's Smith, Sandvik, Munt, left to right in the outfield. Osgood comes set for the first pitch of the at-bat, fires home. Bunt shown, She did offer. Runner goes down to second, and in for the stolen bag is Macy Wills. It'll be a strike on Ellie Doster, but it does move the runner over.
And this is in that softball where you can't lead. You can't take a lead off the base. It's at 60 foot. The pitcher has to be aware that there's runners on base, but can much more focus on the task at hand.
Here's the 0-1, and that one will hit on the outer half for a strike. 0-2 now to Ellie Doster. So Osgood maybe working a little bit of magic to get out of this long top of the fifth. Osgood will fire outside on the 0-2, 1-2. Doster back into the box. Righty versus righty. And the 1-2. And this one slapped out of play. Kind of tomahawked that one down the first base side of things over the Bobcat dugouts.
And so far tonight, Hannah, when she's found herself in this situation, she's trusted the defense behind her, and it's often come on a ground ball to second base. Hannah with only one strikeout tonight.
Doster will again slap this one away down the right field line. She had that lone strikeout of the night back in the second inning.
It was off speed just on the black of the plate.
Doesn't matter where it's at, as long as it's called a strike.
Amen.
The 1-2. And this one, again, slap foul down the right field line, chasing his Munt, but she's not able to get there in time. Almost able to make the play, but out of the glove. And Dylan, I think you had a better look than me, because I was looking at the top of the dugout when I saw the ball kind of bobble away.
Aubrey had it right off the edge of the glove. It was a sliding attempt.
If I stand behind you, I can see down the right field line. That's
all the best broadcasting duos have one standing behind the other. It's like we're in a two-man bobsled. That's the best press box. It's a two-man bobsled.
Here's the 1-2 from Osgood, and upstairs. 2-2 out of the glove. It pops to Bonnie, and the runner goes to third in Macy Wills.
And now we're at, you can see it a little bit. Maybe I'm projecting it on Hannah, but it does seem like her shoulders are a little bit heavier right now. It does seem like a little bit more down, not as much energy.
Bobcats played at Ames on Monday night. Here's a liner into right field. That'll get down. It's a single for Ellie Doster and an RBI. It's her second of the night as she drives in Macy Wills from third, and it's now 11-3 Dodgers.
I think we're
12-3. 12-3. All right, so 12-3 as Cadence Tooney will head to the plates. Mixed bag for her tonight. She's 0 for 3. Reached on an error, a fielder's choice, and a fly out to right field tonight as the runner goes down to second base at Ellie Doster as the ball slipped away for the Bobcats. So Doster stands at second. It was a first pitch ball from Osgood as Cadence Tooney, the right-handed batter, stands in. Osgood fires home. This one lifted into left center field. That'll get down. Long run for Sandvik. She backhands it, throws it in. That'll keep Tooney over at first, but she drives in the runner. And the courtesy runner comes in to score, Ava Wessels, as she scores for Ellie Doster. And it is now 13-3.
And we're getting a pitching change. And you could tell just over about this last inning and a half, everything that Hannah didn't really have control over anything. When she was able to get it across, it was not doing what she wanted to do.
13-3, a pitching change. When we come back, we'll tell you who's into the game for the Bobcats on KFJB-TV.
Do you dream of a career in healthcare that makes a difference? Marshalltown Community College offers a variety of programs to fit your calling. From nursing and medical assisting to dental programs, we provide a nurturing environment with exceptional instructors dedicated to your success. Our simulation labs prepare you for real-world situations. Explore your healthcare path. Find out more at MarshalltownCommunityCollege.com.
Well, it'll be the season debut of Carson Price, who led the Bobcats in innings a year ago with 119 and a third innings pitch, as we have a pitching change here tonight. All brought to you by Ethington Heating and Cooling. They're not comfortable until you are. Is it time to change out your air filter? Check out the planned service programs from Ethington Heating and Cooling that helps ensure your heating and cooling systems are ready to go. What do we expect for Carson Price entering a tough situation? 2 outs in the inning, down by 10 runs.
Well, this is where you get that left-hander. We already talked about that left-hand, right-hand. Carson's been known to strike people out in past, has not pitched this year, but she's definitely not new to the circle for the Bobcats. She was the number 1 2 years ago. She has struggled at points with walking people, but she definitely, that coming from the left side of the circle.
Runner takes off in Tooney, and she's there in time. And that'll be a stolen bag for Tooney as she motors to second. And Dodgers bat around here as Mia McCaleb, second at bat of the inning. She started off the inning with a fly out to Kate Sandvik in center field. And she has a favorable 2-0 count here in the top of the 5th inning. An off-speed pitch. Price loses it outside, 3-0.
And this is where she has struggled. And if you look at her delivery, it's a little bit interesting. It's almost like when people are double jointed, it kind of bends weird. She kind of comes in and it flicks back out. It allows the ball, it has some spin that moves away from the right-handed batter, and she's able to get that one for a strike.
So 3-1 count now, and 2 down. Top of the 5th inning. 10-run lead for the Dodgers, 13-3. And McCaleb will watch for ball number 4 as Tooney will take off for third, as that'll be a wild pitch. Tooney comes home. They apply the tag. And there's going to be obstruction on Coleman at third base, and so the run will be allowed to score, as that will be Cadence Tooney to score, making it 14-3. And McCaleb will stand at second base.
And this is an interesting one where the Bobcats feel like they were in this one, and it just, this from the 3rd inning on, especially in this inning, very similar to third, it just really struggled, and it seems like they're having discussion.
And so Tooney was rounding third, and I believe that's where a little bit of contact between her and Coleman happened. And so Tooney will score. And it's just, I think head coach Jason Bauer is wondering whether Mia McCaleb should be at first or second base here on that walk, and then obstruction when that happened, and that place of time. So our umpire is awarding McCaleb second base on that obstruction. And now they're going to place her back to first base. As we take a look at the replay on KFJB-TV, as Coleman just bumped Tooney rounding third base.
Are they going to say no? They're going to say she's at bat.
And the obstruction happened before?
Before, which I'm confused.
You might need to take another look at that replay. So Tooney was off on the contact. That was on the walk.
She kind of hooked.
So I would have thought that.
We have your stepdaughter Collins up here, who's usually our rules analyst, and I don't know what Collins has to say about it. Yeah, I
thought it would have been ball
very
4.
confused.
Who's that first second line for McCaleb? She's going to line one out to center field as they play it again. That'll be out number 3. So McCaleb starts out the inning with a fly out to center. She'll end it with a fly out to center, but 7 runs come across the plate for the Dodgers here in the top of the 5th, and it's now 14-3 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning when we come back on KFJB-TV.
You look forward to retirement as your time to relax. But now that it's here, turns out relaxation is overrated and you'd rather get back to work with an idea of your own. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement plans change course, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
Welcome back to Marshalltown High School Softball Complex. Brandon Lewis, Dylan Dones alongside me. Kind of trying to sort out what happened. The only thought was that might not have been ball number 4 to Mia McCaleb, is why we played that over again. But there definitely was obstruction there at third base, which allowed Cadence Tooney to score and make it 14-3 Dodgers.
Yeah, it's those interesting things where we wish that we could mic, the umpire, and be able to get some process of what exactly is happening.
And it looks like we do have a new pitcher into the game for the Dodgers. We'll take a timeout, and we'll tell you who's into the game for the Dodgers coming up next right here on KFJB-TV.
McGregor's Furniture and Mattress is your local furniture store in Marshalltown, and they are proud to support Marshalltown Bobcat Athletics. If you need a new recliner to relax in, or perhaps a new dining set for the whole family, shop McGregor's. They also have a good selection of luxurious sectional sofas. Score the mattress of your dreams with an assist from the McGregor's friendly and knowledgeable staff. You'll be the household MVP when you bring home the winning selection from McGregor's Furniture and Mattress downtown Marshalltown. Open 7 days a week.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
Pitching change for the Dodgers, all brought to you by Ethington Heating and Cooling. It is Katie Mason. 1 inning pitched, no runs a year ago, or so far this season. She did end out game number 1 earlier tonight. Gianna Bonney comes in and will rip a single to begin the bottom of the 5th inning. So Bobcats will need to score a couple of runs to keep this game going here tonight as they find themselves down by 11. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 14-3 is our current score. Bonnie with a single. That'll be her first hit of the night. She is 1 for 2 with a hit by a pitch back in the first inning. She ended up scoring a run. Kate Sandvik's going to send a pop up to short left field. Tooney ranges in and makes the catch. It's a fly out to left field for Kate Sandvik, and there is one away here at the bottom of the 5th.
And the top 4 in this lineup have been good. They're 5 of 8. They do have a fielder's choice and a hit by pitch. They've been productive, but now we are really in that we've got to get 2 runs to keep this thing on the tracks to be able to play that 6th inning.
Pitch is low and inside to Briley Danielson. A ball is called, so 1-0 to Briley Danielson. 2-run shot back in the first. She had a single in the 3rd inning, so 2 for 2 tonight. And she stands in, and this one is going to be hit. A high pop up to right center field. Called off Meyer in right field. Calls off Willis, the center fielder, and makes the catch. That'll be a fly out to right field for out number 2 by Briley Danielson.
I'll say both of these outs here in the 5th inning, tremendous communication, because they were both in between. They were both in the Bermuda Triangle, and really good communication amongst defenders.
Lady Danielson rips one to short. Allstott flips to Wills at second base. It is a 6-4 force out at second base for out number 3 of the inning on Gianna Bonney. And the fielder's choice off the bat of Lainey Danielson. And that will send the Bobcats down here tonight by a final score of 14-3. The final in game number 2 after being dropped 12-0 in game number 1 to 4th-ranked Fort Dodge.
Yeah. Look at that one tonight. Bobcats got hot early, got 3 runs top of the first. Then they were able to get, Hannah looked really good into that 3rd inning. And then it came down to you can't make mental mistakes against great teams.
No.
And that 3rd inning, it all came tumbling down. It avalanched in the 5th as well. And by that time you could tell Hannah had kind of hit her limit of where she was tonight. Overall, it was good to see the bats started to get a little bit of juice after being no hit. First game tonight and the last game against Ames. Good to see a little bit of juice there. I'm excited to talk to Coach Bauer, see kind of how he's looking, what lens he's looking at tonight's losses through.
14-3, the final in game number 2. Bobcats fall in game 1, 12-0. We head to the locker room report, all brought to you by Wells Fargo Advisors in Marshalltown. That is next, right here on News Talk 1230 AM, 93.9 FM, and on KFJB-TV.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
Wayward Social is the place for fun. With 20 lanes of bowling, leagues for all levels, great food and drink options, an awesome arcade, there is a ton of fun to be had at Wayward Social. And that's just on the inside. Step outside and enjoy patio life at Gutter Point with drinks, shuffleboard, live music, and fun atmosphere. Follow Wayward Social on Facebook for updates on specials and live music. It is all on South 6th Street in Marshalltown. Visit wayward-social.com to plan your next visit to the place for fun.
Your degree, your way. Online learning at Marshalltown Community College lets you learn at your own pace, from home, fitting education into your life. Choose from 9 fully online programs. Balance work, family, and your future. Plus, you get dedicated support just like on-campus students. Library, advising, everything you need. Online degrees at MCC, flexible, accessible, and supported. Visit MarshalltownCommunityCollege.com to learn more. Start learning your way today.
The KFJB-TV Locker Room Report, presented by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown.
Welcome into the Locker Room Report here on KFJB-TV, all brought to you by Wells Fargo Advisors. James Hunt, Jeff Isrig, located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Well, a tough one here tonight for the Marshalltown Bobcats. They fall in game 1, 12-0, and they fall in game number 2, 14-3. The final score. Bobcats jumped out to a 3-0 lead early on here with a Briley Danielson 2-run home run as she drove in Gianna Bonney, and then Lainey Danielson with a run scored. As we take a look at the replay on that 2-run home run by Briley Danielson to right center field, Aubrey Munt would have a single, and then a sacrifice fly by Kaylin Coleman would drive in Lainey Danielson there in the first. But that's all the runs that the Bobcats could produce in game number 2 here tonight. Hannah Osgood goes 4 2/3 innings here tonight. Carson Price relieves her as the Bobcats give up 14 runs off of 14 hits. Third inning, they did commit 3 errors that inning, so that did not help aid the cause. Aubrey Alstott will pick up the win for Fort Dodge. She goes 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 strikeouts, no walks, and relieving her for just the final inning, Katie Mason. She goes 1 inning, gives up 1 hit and no runs to close out the Bobcats here tonight. Dodgers improved to now 5-1 on the season. They're ranked 4th in Class 4A. Bobcats fall to 2-5 with the doubleheader sweep here tonight. They'll be back in action tomorrow night against Roosevelt. We'll have that game coming up for you tomorrow night. So a final again in game number 2, 14-3. Bobcats fall game number 1, 12-0. We'll take a timeout. We'll name our OPA player of the game when we come back on the Locker Room Report.
You planned and saved for your child to go to college, but medical school after graduation was a surprise. A happy, expensive surprise. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When opportunities surprise you, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
Registration for the upcoming school year in Marshalltown is Tuesday, July 8th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Miller Middle School. A birth certificate is required if a new student is joining. If parents are unable to attend, they can go online to the Infinite Campus System. To begin, go to the district website, marshalltown.k12.ia.us, and click on Academics. All new families in the Marshalltown Community School District must register at the District Welcome Center, downtown Marshalltown. Here's to the 2025-2026 school year.
The KFJB-TV Locker Room Report, presented by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown.
Welcome back to the Marshalltown Softball Complex. Brianna Lewis with you. It's now time to name our player of the game. All brought to you by Opa Grill in Marshalltown. Greek and traditional favorites. All you have to say is Opa. Well, our player of the game tonight, it'll be Briley Danielson, a 2-run home run back in the first inning as she drove in Bonnie, and she finishes 2 for 3 with 2 RBI and a run scored tonight for the Bobcats to lead the way on the offensive end of things. Congrats to Briley Danielson, our player of the game, as she receives a $25 gift certificate to Opa Grill in Marshalltown. This is the Locker Room Report. You're watching KFJB-TV.
What does OPA mean? OPA means joy, enthusiasm, and approval. And when you dine at OPA Grill in Marshalltown, you'll understand why. With their made-to-order pastas, soups, and salads made daily with the freshest ingredients. Favorites include chicken parmesan pan-fried to perfection, fresh and light chicken lemon rice soup, and their signature OPA salad topped with seasoned gyro meat. OPA Grill Family Restaurant in Marshalltown, where you can dine in or drive through. All you have to say is OPA!
You're an empty nester closing in on that retirement property. Chances are your plans didn't include mom moving in, but life happens and you do the right thing. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement means caring for yourself and a loved one, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
The KFJB-TV Locker Room Report, presented by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown.
That's fine. Welcome back to Marshalltown Softball Complex, as Brianna Lewis with you here tonight, as head coach Jason Bowers is standing by with Dylan Dose.
All righty, here with Coach Bauer. It's 14-3 loss after 5 innings, but this game started for the Bobcats. Quick inning, top of the inning. Sophomore Hannah Osgood started off. What can you say about the first couple innings she gave you tonight?
Yeah, she lived around the zone. I think that was huge. She got a lot of missed hits, and that's what you want from a pitcher, right? If you can work those edges up and down and get some missed hits, and they can't barrel it up, and we can get out of an inning pretty quickly.
And you look at Allstott, the freshman pitcher for Fort Dodge. It's pretty the talent that she has, but you look at, as with many freshmen, you know, getting that strike over, being a little bit wild, but that first inning, Bobcats came out big. Briley Danielson, nice double by Laney as well. Had to feel good seeing the bats come alive a little bit early today.
Yeah, and we struggled at Ames a little bit with the bats, and we talked about plate discipline and two-strike approach, and we weren't the best at it tonight either, but it was better than Ames, so it's a step forward. But yeah, that first inning was fun to be a part of. You know, and then we had an opportunity there. I think I called a bunt with runners on first and second, and their catcher made a heck of a play to get that force out on 3. Other than that, you know, we might have scratched a couple of runs there or two and made it more of a ball game.
And you look at those little things, being able to make that really came in the third and the fifth inning, is where there were some mental mistakes, some errors by the Bobcats. But overall, looking at one of the best softball programs in the state. As you look at this part of the season, looking forward, looking to come back to the Diamond here real quickly, what are some growth areas and what are some things that you're going to building blocks off of this loss tonight?
Well, we talked about it after. I challenge those kids every day about being good teammates and being supportive and things like that, and just making softball fun and cheering every little win. And we struggled with that in the first game, and I wasn't a very happy coach afterwards. And it takes a lot makes me angry, and I was not very happy in that circle after the first game. We talked about our core values and being teammates, being energetic, and all that stuff, and we struggled in that first game. But I don't really care what the score is if we play like that, if we have the energy like that, because that's what makes softball fun, right? And I think they understand that. They should understand that now, right? And that's the building blocks, right? If you can start make softball fun, you don't make it everybody puts so much pressure on themselves to perform, and then can start enjoying themselves, and the performance will happen after that.
Thank you very much, Coach, and good luck moving forward.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Back to you, Brandon.
All right, thanks, Dylan. As 14-3, again, the final score in game number 2, as 12-0 the final in game number 1. We will take a quick timeout, and we will wrap things up when we come back. This is Bobcat Baseball. You're watching softball. You're watching KFJB-TV.
Some say life is like a road trip. Is it a coincidence Scooter's Coffee is a drive-thru? We don't think so. Whether you need a coffee while you enjoy the view, to just get you through the long stretch, or to refuel between stops, Scooter's Coffee is there, brewing up delicious coffee, espresso blenders, smoothies, iced drinks, and more, with the convenience of a drive-thru so you can stay on the road and enjoy the ride. So go ahead, scoot on around. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Scooters in Marshalltown.
McGregor's Furniture and Mattress is your local furniture store in Marshalltown, and they are proud to support Marshalltown Bobcat Athletics. If you need a new recliner to relax in, or perhaps a new dining set for the whole family, shop McGregor's. They also have a good selection of luxurious sectional sofas. Score the mattress of your dreams with an assist from the McGregor's friendly and knowledgeable staff. You'll be the household MVP when you bring home the winning selection from McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown. Open 7 days a week.
The KFJB-TV Locker Room Report, presented by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown.
Back in on the Locker Room Reports, as our next broadcast is coming up tomorrow night, as we've got softball on KFJB-TV, as well as News Talk 1230 AM, 93.9 FM. As softball is the Roosevelt Rough Riders will be in town for a 5 and 7 o'clock doubleheader. And then our next broadcast coming up after that, it'll be next week on June 11th, as Marshalltown will take on Ottumwa in baseball action. Looking forward to all those games, and we'll be back here tomorrow starting at 5 o'clock with our coverage from the softball complex. We'll take one final timeout. You're watching Bobcat Softball and listening on News Talk 1230 AM, 93.9 FM, and right here on KFJB-TV.
Auto loans at Lennox Employees Credit Union are not just for cars. If you are looking to purchase a new or used motorcycle, boat, snowmobile, or other recreational vehicle, look no further. Lennox Employees Credit Union has low loan rates, and the loan process is so easy. Visit lennoxecu.com for rates and membership eligibility information, or go to 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown to visit with one of our loan officers. Lennox Employees Credit Union, member NCUA.
Legends American Grill is the perfect place to watch your favorite team. Enjoy wings, nachos, steaks, and prime rib available on Friday and Saturday nights. It's game on for great food and your favorite drink to wash it down. You like burgers? Legends has fantastic, unique burger creations like this. The Legends Burger. Absolutely delicious. Gather with friends, enjoy your favorite team's games with the NFL Sunday Ticket, and make some memories. Legends American Grill in Marshalltown and our new Newton location, where the game is always on.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Edward Jones financial advisor Zach Wall can help. He'll work with you on an investment strategy for long-term results. Edward Jones can give you the tools and knowledge for a steady approach to hitting your financial targets. Get started by giving Zach Wall a call at 641-752-3017 in Marshalltown or visiting edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
One final time in Marshalltown High School, 14-3 in game number 2. Bobcats lose in softball to fourth-ranked Fort Dodge, 12-0 in game number 1. As, again, softball will be on KFJB-TV as well as on News Talk 1230 AM, 93.9 FM tomorrow night. As one final scoreboard update, do we have any other scores kind of pulling in from around the area, Dylan?
We have Roland Story leads West Marshall 1-0 after 4. Southeast Polk 7, Centennial 1. That's the bottom of third. And then we have final after 4 innings. Grinnell 14, Trojans South Tama 0.
That is our scoreboard update. Again, all brought to you by all season long Central State Bank. Discover what Central State Bank can do for you. Thanks so much to our KFJB-TV crew here tonight. Our radio producer, Jeff Brooks, back at the studios. Our on-site producer, David Braga. Our camera crew tonight, Keith Stewart and Elijah Bond. For Dylan Doe, I'm Brandon Lewis. We'll talk to you tomorrow night back here at Marshalltown High School. This is your home for the Cats. News Talk 1230 AM, 93.9 FM, and KFJB-TV.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is made possible by Assured Partners, Greg Young of Marshalltown, Lennox Employees Credit Union, Marshalltown Area Chamber, Marshalltown Community College, The Gregors Furniture and Mattress, Sports Plus, Wayward Social, Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown, Marshalltown School District, Scooters of Marshalltown, Legends American Grill, Sandvik Enterprises in Marshalltown, your Marshalltown Hy-Vee, and State Farm, Tyler Pashong Agency.